It's 2:30 in the PM. That is the time allocated for the Senate plenary sittings on this 17th day of the month of February, the year 2026. This is a live broadcast streaming from the Senate Chambers Parliament buildings in Nairobi. And it's a broadcast that is brought to you by the Parliamentary Broadcasting Unit in partnership with the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation. A warm welcome to you, and we are glad that you are joining us for these proceedings this afternoon. Currently on your screens, that is inside the Senate chambers. As you can see, members have already started making their way inside, of course, to get ready for the business that is lined up for consideration this afternoon. So those are members of the Senate getting ready for the business that is lined up for consideration this afternoon. And we shall take a look at the business that is in the order paper that has been lined up for consideration as we wait for the procession of the Speaker to make its way inside. And of course, we shall be handing this business to the House for you to be able to follow on the proceedings once the prayer is said and the chair is taken. So the business that the members will be considering, there is a notice of motion that will be moved by the Senate Majority Leader. This regards the approval of Senator Kiprono Chemitei Cheburet, the Senator for Baringo County, to be able to serve in select committees to the Senate. At the entrance of the Senate chambers, the Speaker has made his way inside. Allow me to hand you over to the business.
Shall we pray? Almighty God, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor and blessings as your servants whom you have been pleased to call to leadership positions in this republic. We seek guidance to treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interest you have committed to our charge. Amen. Senators, you may now resume your seats. Clerk, do we have quorum to start the session? You may ring the quorum bell for 10 minutes.
So the prayer has been said and the chair taken. However, there is a quorum hitch at the commencement of the sitting of the House, and the Speaker has directed that the quorum bell be rung for 10 minutes. This is, of course, to give room to the members of the Senate who are yet to make their way into the chambers to perhaps hasten their steps and be able to join their colleagues inside the chamber, and most importantly, enable the House attain that much needed quorum for it to be able to commence. So as we wait for that quorum to be raised, we shall continue to take a look at the business that is lined up for consideration, or the business that the members shall be transacting this afternoon once the House corrects and the business commences. Earlier on, I had indicated that there is a notice of motion that will be moved by the Senate leader of the majority party, Honorable Aaron Cheriot. This notice of motion regards the approval of Honorable Senator Kiprono Chemiteiche Buret, the Honorable Member for Baringo County, to be able to serve in select committees of the Senate. And these committees include the Standing Committee on Health, that the Honorable Senator Vincent Kiprono Chemiteiche Buret will be replacing Senator David Wafula Wakoli in that committee. And the Honorable Member is also expected to serve in the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations to replace Honorable Senator Tabitha Keroche Karanja. So this is a notice of motion that the Honorable Leader of the Majority Party will be moving, and then they will also consider that particular business in a motion to be able to allow the Honorable Member to serve in these two committees. If you're just joining us, is that the House about to commence its business. There is a quorum hitch. At least 15 senators are needed to be present in the chamber. We can see more members making their way inside. And once that quorum is raised, then we shall be letting you in to be able to follow on the proceedings. We shall be waiting for that queue. Once the quorum is raised or attained, then we shall, without any further delay, hand this business back to the House for you to be able to follow. This afternoon also, the members will be considering a motion where the quorum has been attained. Allow me to hand you over.
Sergeant at Arms, could you please stop the quorum bell? You may call the first order, clerk.
Order number 1, administration of oath.
Next order.
Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Next order. Call the next order, clerk.
Order number 3, messages.
Next order.
Order number 4, petitions.
Honorable members, there is a supplementary order paper that is in your gadgets. You may switch to that particular supplementary order paper for purposes of following the proceedings. Clerk, call the next order.
Order number 5, papers.
The Senate Majority Leader. There are a number of papers that are meant to be laid by the Leader of Majority. Majority Whip, proceed. Clerk, could you facilitate the Majority Whip? Okay, proceed now.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the Senate today, the 17th February 2026. Reports of the Auditor General laid pursuant to Senate resolutions of Tuesday, 11 November 2025 on the referral of statutory instruments and papers submitted during recess for the year ended 30th June 2025 on financial statements of the county executives of the following: Meru County, Bomet County, Nyamira County, Trans Nzoia County, Marsabit County, Isiolo County, West Pokot County, Kirinyaga County, Turkana County, Nyeri County, Samburu County, Nyandarua County, Murang'a County, Kiambu County, Laikipia County, Kilifi County, Tana River County, Narok County, Makueni County, Siaya County, Kisii County, Bungoma County, Busia County, Kakamega County. Mandera County, Taita Taveta County, Garissa County, Gerisho County, Mombasa County, Vihiga County, Elgeyo Marakwet County, Nandi County, Uasin Gishu County, Nairobi City County. B, financial statements of the county assemblies of the following: Meru County Assembly, Bomet, Nyamira, Trans Nzoia, Marsabit, Isiolo, West Pokot, Kirinyaga, Turkana, Nyeri, Samburu, Nyandarua, Murang'a, Kiambu, Laikipia, Kilifi, Tana River, Narok, Makueni, Siaya, Kisii, Bungoma, Busia, Kakamega, Mandera, Taita Taveta, Garissa, Kerisho, Mombasa, Vihiga, Elgeyo Marakwet, Nandi, Uasin Gishu, Nairobi City. C, financial statements of the County Revenue Fund of the following: Meru County, Bomet, Nyamira, Trans Nzoia, Marsabit, Isiolo, West Pokot, Kirinyaga, Turkana, Nyeri, Samburu, Nyandarua, Murang'a, Kiambu, Laikipia, Kilifi, Tana River, Narok, Makueni, Siaya, Kisii, Bungoma, Busia, Kakamega, Mandera, Taita Taveta, Garissa, Kerisho, Mombasa, Vihiga, Elgeyo Marakwet, Nandi, Uasin Gishu, Nairobi City. D, financial statements of the county receiver of revenue of the following: Meru, Bomet, Nyamira, Trans Nzoia, Marsabit, Isiolo, West Pokot, Kirinyaga, Turkana, Nyeri, Samburu, Nyandarua, Murang'a, Kiambu, Laikipia, Kilifi, Tana River, Narok, Makueni, Siaya, Kisii, Bungoma, Busia, Kakamega, Mandera, Taita Taveta, Garissa, Kerisho, Mombasa.
Order, honorable senators. Senator
Vihiga, Elgeyo Marakwet, Nandi, Uasin
Senator
Gishu.
Roba. Senator Boni Halwale, Senator Roba, order please. Senator Professor Tomo Jenda, resume your seat. Let us have
Elgeyo Marakwet, Nandi, Uasin Gishu, Nairobi City, and E, financial statements on Kakamega County Revenue Agency. I beg to lay, Mr. Speaker, sir.
order, honorable senators. Clerk, call the next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Senator Hamida Kibwana. She's not in. Senator Hamida Kibwana. Honorable members, that is why I was calling you to order. Once you're in the House, you should be ready to prosecute your businesses. It is not the business of the Speaker to guide you on what to do. Senator Hamida Kibwana, proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I beg to put a notice of motion on mainstreaming a framework for clean cooking in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion: that aware that Article 42 of the Constitution guarantees every person the right to a clean and healthy environment, which includes access to safe energy options. Further aware that over 900 million Africans, including more than 90% of households in Kenya's rural areas, still rely on traditional biomass, firewood, charcoal, animal waste for cooking, resulting in high levels of indoor air pollution that pose premature deaths, particularly among women and children. Concerned that in Kenya, indoor air pollution has been linked to over 23,000 annual deaths, with women and girls bearing the disproportional burden of time spent collecting firewood and cooking, limiting their education and economic opportunities. Noting that traditional cooking methods contribute significantly to deforestation, greenhouse gas emissions, and climate vulnerability at the county level, undermining national commitments under the Energy Act 2019, the Climate Change Act 2016, and Kenya's National Determined Contributions NDCs. Recalling that the African Clean Cooking Summit, Paris 2023, mobilized US dollars 2.2 billion in commitments for clean cooking, and the International Energy Agency has recommended urgent financing and policy action to achieve universal access by 2040. Acknowledging the efforts of some counties' development partners and private sector actors in piloting clean cooking projects, but recognizing that these remain small-scale and fragmented. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves that Council of Governors develops county-level policies, frameworks, and budgets that mainstream clean cooking into devolved energy and health functions. Number 2, National Treasury and Ministry of Energy prioritizing clean cooking in financing frameworks, including results-based financing and blended finance models to de-risk private investment. Number 3, county governments incorporate clean cooking targets in their county integrated development plans, CIDPs, and ensure public institutions such as schools, health facilities, and prisons adopt clean cooking solutions. Number 4, National Treasury and county governments to fast-track letters of authorization to unlock carbon finance markets, Article 6.2 and COSIA, to clean cooking projects. Finally, county governments engage the private sector actors and community organizations to expand clean cooking access, create local jobs, and reduce pressure on forest resources. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Clerk, next motion. The Leader of Majority. The Leader of Majority.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that notwithstanding the resolutions of the Senate made on 12 February 2025 on the approval of senators to serve in various standing committees of the Senate and pursuant to standing orders 197, 199, 228, and the fourth schedule to the standing orders, the Senate approves the following senator nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the standing committees of the Senate as follows. A, Standing Committee on Health, Senator Vincent Kiprono Chemtei Sheburet, MP, to replace Senator David Wafula Wakoli, CBS MP, and B, the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations, Senator Vincent Kiprono Chemitei Cheburet, MP, to replace Senator Tabitha Kiroshe Karanja, MGH MP.
Clerk, let's move to the next order. Questions and statements.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Senator Esi Okenyuri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a statement on the access to cancer medications in the country. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of national concern regarding the ongoing crisis at Kenyatta National Hospital and other health facilities across the country that provide cancer treatment. Mr. Speaker, sir, due to stockouts of life-saving drugs, there have been severe disruptions in access to critical cancer medicines. As a result, patients are forced to choose between delayed treatment in public facilities or paying exorbitant prices in private health facilities. Although the enhanced oncology benefit under the Social Health Authority was intended to provide financial protection to cancer patients, beneficiaries have been unable to access the 800,000 shillings cover as of the new benefit package has not been fully implemented or operationalized. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the current status of the availability, supply, and distribution of essential cancer medicines at Kenyatta National Hospital and all public health facilities offering cancer treatment across the country. 2, the causes of reported stockouts and the measures being taken by the Ministry of Health, the Social Health Authority, and relevant agencies to address the lack of access to cancer treatment medicines. 3, the implementation status of the enhanced SHA oncology benefit package, including timelines for full operationalization and interim measures in place to bridge existing treatment gaps. 4, the measures taken or proposed to strengthen accountability, oversight, and proper management of cancer medicines, including safeguards against theft, diversion, or loss of critical drugs. Finally, any additional policy or operational initiatives being undertaken to decentralize cancer treatment services and reduce the burden on referral facilities such as Kenyatta National Hospital. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, before I proceed to permit some additional statements, I've got communication to make. Order Senator Murango. Senator Manzo, take your seats. Honorable Senators, I have communication on visiting delegations from Migori and Busia County Assemblies. I would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon, visiting delegations from the County Assemblies of Migori and Busia. The delegations comprise of 5 officers from the Hansard Department of the County Assembly of Migori and 2 officers from the Department of Sergeant-at-Arms of the County Assembly of Busia, who are undertaking a benchmarking visit in the Senate. Honorable Senators, on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation and wish them a fruitful visit. I thank you. I will, of course, allow the Senator for the County of Migori and Busia to welcome them, but before I do that, I have a further communication from the Chair regarding visiting teachers and students from Karima High School in Murang'a County. Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence in the public gallery this afternoon, visiting teachers and students from Karima High School in Murang'a County. The delegation consists of 5 teachers and 223 students. In our usual tradition of receiving and welcoming visitors to Parliament, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation, and on behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, wish them a fruitful visit. I thank you. Senator Eddie is present, so I'll give you in under 1 minute to welcome the delegation from Migori County and Senator Joe Nyutu from Muranga. You will welcome the students from Karima High School. Senator Omtata Okia from Busia as well. You will have a moment to welcome the officers from Busia County.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker, for that opportunity. And actually, it's my honor to welcome the team from Migori. I can't overstate the importance of keeping answered and keeping records of what happens in these newly formed assemblies in our communities. I'm a better senator today here because I've got to benefit a lot from those people who came before us in this house. And there are people who have admired, people like Senator Orengo, people like Baba Raila Molo Odinga, people like J.M. Kariuki who were in these houses long time ago. And I want to encourage you that don't take your work lightly. What you are doing in the assemblies are very important in keeping those records. But most importantly, when you are here, also take your time to learn from the best in the Senate. And I hope that when you leave the premises of these chambers, you will get to greet Senator Edwin Sifuna together with me, as well as Senator Ledamo Lekina, because they're the one who are sandwiching me here and giving a lot of knowledge where I cannot be able to consume the answer they keep on telling me. And their greetings is always not just a greeting. There are better ways that they know how to greet people. When you're going back home, you'll be happy. I welcome you, and I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Okia Omtata.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to welcome the delegation of the Sergeant at Arms from Busia County Assembly. You are most welcome to this assembly. I hope you learn best practices from both this House and the National Assembly, and you'll be able to go back and serve the Assembly of Busia with due diligence and an upgraded way of doing things. Mr. Speaker, the Busia Assembly is an interesting one of the top assemblies in this country, where more than 70% of the assembly is made of graduates. So it's an assembly we celebrate, and we hope that the Sergeant at Arms will be up to the task and ensure that these young men and women who are representing us are able to deliver on their mandate and to serve the people of this republic. Thank you very much. We shall have a proper handshake outside the chamber. Thank you and most welcome.
Thank you.
I recognize Mr. Khalwale, who is our Senator Khalwale. I recognize you. Thank you very much.
Senator Joe Nyutu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this
opportunity. I will not allow that,
opportunity.
Senator Halwale. He was actually taking your attention to concentrate on his welcome remarks. Do not worry as to any other comment that he could have made. Proceed, Senator Joe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I also take this opportunity to welcome the students and teachers of Karima High School in Muranga County. We welcome them to this chamber, Mr. Speaker, and we want to ask the students to do what brought them here, to see how debate is done here, which will enrich their debating capabilities and skills when they go back to school. I want to believe, Mr. Speaker, that they have a good debating club. And Mr. Speaker, I want to congratulate them and the teachers for choosing to bring the students here so that they may be able to provoke in the students that urge to debate, Mr. Speaker. And I hope that they are going to be allowed enough time, Mr. Speaker, to be able to watch us debate here in a mature way. And because they are young people, and the young people across the country are saying, Sisi ndio Sifuna, they can also see Senator Sifuna here, so that when they go back to Muranga and start saying, Sisi ndio Sifuna, they will have seen the Sifuna alongside the rest of us. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We welcome these learners to this house.
Now we are going back to the statements and pass on to Standing Order 53, Senator Samson Cherargei.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. With your indulgence, request for statement on the exploitative and deceptive recruitment of Kenyan youth to Russia. Speaker, it's not about the famous Russian guy who has been taking advantage of girls,
Senator
but this is on another matter.
Read your statement.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on a matter of national concern regarding the exploitative and deceptive recruitment of the Kenyan youth to Russia under the guise of civilian employment opportunities. Mr. Speaker, sir, credible reports indicate that several Kenyan youths were allegedly promised legitimate civilian jobs abroad, only to find themselves exposed to military engagement in the ongoing Russia-Ukraine conflict, Mr. Speaker. Some families have reported the loss of contact with their relatives, while others have sought clarification regarding the circumstances under which their kin travel and the protections available to them. These developments, Mr. Speaker, raise serious concerns regarding the regulation of foreign recruitment agencies, protection of Kenyan citizens abroad, potential traffic risks, human trafficking, and the adequacy of oversight mechanisms governing overseas employment opportunities. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee should address the following. 1, the number of Kenyans currently stranded, missing, stranded, or otherwise unaccounted for in Russia-Ukraine conflict war, and the current status of investigations into the reported deceptive recruitment of the Kenyan citizens, including the responsible agencies and progress made to date. So, Speaker, number 2, the extent of coordination between the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs, relevant security agencies, and foreign governments in tracing, protecting, repatriating, or otherwise accounting for Kenyans affected by these recruitment schemes. Number 3, Mr. Speaker, sir, the measures taken to identify, disrupt, and dismantle recruitment networks operating locally or internationally, and the actions being pursued to all accountable individuals or entities involved in misleading or exploitative recruitment practices across the country. So, Speaker, number 4, the committee should the support mechanisms in place for affected families, including financial, legal, and socio-psychological assistance, consular support, and timely communication regarding the status of investigations and efforts to trace their relatives in Russia-Ukraine conflict. Mr. Speaker, number 5, the adequacy of existing laws, policies, and regulatory frameworks governing foreign employment and recruitment of Kenyans abroad, and any gaps that may have enabled exploitation or human trafficking. Mr. Speaker, finally, the measures and reforms being undertaken to strengthen oversight, verification, and enforcement mechanisms to prevent the recurrence of deceptive foreign recruitment, including public advisories, a verification protocol for overseas job offers, and enhanced safeguards to protect welfare and rights of Kenyans citizens seeking employment abroad. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
And lastly, the Senator for Busia, Senator Okia Omtata.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I request for a statement on the challenges faced by communities living along the Tana River Dam cascade. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53 Clause 1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Energy on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the challenges faced by communities living along the Tana River Dam cascade, the mitigation measures in place, and unequal compensation of affected persons. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Tana River hosts a series of major dams, Masinga, Kamburu, Gitaru, Kindaruma, and Kiambere, central to Kenya's hydropower generation. Yet downstream communities in the Tana River and parts of Garissa counties have long endured recurrent flooding linked to dam spillages. These floods, which are often predictable, frequently resulting from controlled releases, have caused property destruction, livelihood losses, displacement, and serious public health challenges, compounded by persistent gaps in early warning systems, coordinated dam management, and community preparedness. Despite this, affected communities are rarely compensated, as flooding is commonly treated as a natural or seasonal event, overlooking the role of power generation infrastructure and undermining principles of fairness, equality, and shared national responsibility. In the statement, the committee should address the following: measures in place to prevent and mitigate dam-induced flooding along the Tana River's 7 Forks hydroelectric dams, including early warning systems and interagency coordination. The criteria used to classify flooding incidents along the Tana and the basis for excluding many from compensation mechanisms. 3, details of compensation, relief, or support provided to affected communities over the past 5 years from 2021 to 2026. 4, plans to establish a compensation and benefit sharing framework for downstream communities affected by hydropower dams. 5, the respective roles of KenGen, the Ministry of Energy, the National Drought Management Authority, NDMA, and the county governments in safeguarding and ensuring equitable treatment of these communities. That's my statement. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Senator Omtata. Honorable Senators, I will give 10 minutes for members who would like to comment on those 3 statements. The statement by Senator Esi Okenyuri, statement by Senator Okoiti Omtata, and the one by Senator Cherargei. From my dashboard, I've got Senator Chute. Senator Chute is not present in the chamber. Senator Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to commend and support the statement by Senator Cherargei. Mr. Speaker, quite a number of Kenyans have left the country, having been misled that they are going to be employed and that they are going to earn a living and have a future, Mr. Speaker. This has happened in a number of countries whereby some of them ended up being stranded. This has happened in the Arab world. This has happened in Russia, where we saw reports. Some have even died there. Some left here not knowing exactly they are going to be at the front of side of the war and ended up losing their
Give the mic to Senator Manzo. You can proceed to the dispatch. All right, you have
Thank
it.
you. Some hoping, to have a future, Mr. Speaker. And I want to say that if you take an untrained Kenyan to become a soldier and go and fight at the front, of the war, the much result you can expect is disaster, most probably deaths, and quite a number of them have died. And Mr. Speaker, I will want the Ministry of Labor and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to give an account as to how many Kenyans are outside there. Have he left here through agencies, or have he left by themselves to get employed? Mr. Speaker, Kenyans living in diaspora are very important to this nation. They make remittances. They take care of families at home. Mr. Speaker, recently I saw the diaspora in America, very determined to make Kenya succeed, and very determined to make Kenya great again. So the role of diaspora is very important. And therefore, the young people living in the country, Mr. Speaker, have to have a full protection. This is the role of foreign affairs. We've got to know which country they are in, whether we have an ambassador in that country, whether that ambassador has an account of these Kenyans. Mr. Speaker, I was very impressed when I went to South Africa recently and found that our ambassador in South Africa even has a list of Kenyans living in South Africa. And Kenyans living in South Africa even have a number they know. And every time they appear in the embassy, they get assisted very quickly. It should be the same with the Arab world, Mr. Speaker. One time I lost somebody from Makueni in the Arab world, and for a long time they were stuck there. It forced me to go to Arabia myself to get the body coming back home with a lot of challenges. The Minister of Foreign Affairs assisted me very little because I realized that the ambassador there is dealing with a number of countries. The challenges are many. The embassies are not properly funded, even for these sudden occurrences such as arrests, deaths, and the like, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, Kenyans must feel protected. Those working abroad, they must know that Kenya is their first country and Kenya is protecting them, Mr. Speaker. I do support and I thank you.
Senator Mundige.
Asante Bwana Spika kwa kunipa nafasi niweze kuchangia statement ya Senator Okinyuri kuhusu mambo ya kanza. Bwana Spika, nakumbuka vizuri wakati serikali iliingia uongozini, tulikuja tukaambiwa mambo ya SHA na inaendelea, lakini tulikuwa najua SHA ikianza mambo ya kanza kila county zote zimekuwa na shinda. Bwana Spika, na pia tunajua mambo ya budget ya SHA mpaka leo hanja kufanya kazi vile inafaa kwa sababu ya wagonjwa wote wako na kanza. Bwana Spika, hata tumesikia watu wengine wakienda hospitali, saa nyingine kanza wakati inafika stage ya mwisho, unakuta inarudi kwa familia kuchanga pesa, kwa hiyo na unga mkono kuweze kuangaliwa ama waziri wa afya aweze kusema vile itakuwa ndio hii mambo yote iweze kuwa mzuri. Kwa sababu familia nyingi imeisha, siku hizi hata vijana, wasichana, watu kidogo wako na shinda. Bwana Spika, pia nachangia statement ya Senator Siregei wa Nandi kuhusu mambo ya Russia. Mimi ni mmoja wa kamati ya LEPA, na Bwana Spika, hata si Russia peke yake. Unakuta hata Dubai, kona zote, unakuta vijana wetu, wasichana wetu wanaendelea kuteseka. Ningeomba tuweze kuangalia kama ni waziri wa LEPA, waweze kuangalia hii mambo yote itaisha namna gani, kwa sababu Bwana Spika, shinda kubwa ni agent. Ama unakuta mtu apatiwa barua ya kwenda kuwa mtalii kama miezi 3, lakini akienda anapotea. Pia panya route iweze kuonekana vile shinda zote itaweza kusaidia ndio watu wetu waache kupata shinda. Kwa sababu Bwana Spika, unakuta watu wanaenda kama ni Russia, tunakuja kugundua watu wengi wameenda Russia na panya route, hata wanafanya makosa wakati wameuawa, ndio tunakuja kuona Bwana Spika, na inaleta shinda hata aibu kwa serikali, mpaka serikali inatukanwa juu ya makosa ambayo sio yao. Lakini naomba serikali iweze kuangalia mambo ya panya route na agent wote wale wanafanya makosa waweze kunyang'anywa ile leseni. Asante Bwana Spika.
Senator Richard Onyonka. Give him the mic, clerk. Be a little patient, Senator Onyonka. The system, is still new, or you can submit from the dispatch. Whether it is technology or your ability to use it is a different story.
Nashukuru sana ndugu Spika kwa kupata hii nafasi tena. Pia mimi nimeamua nizungumze kwa lugha ya taifa kwa sababu mzee Mundigi amejihusisha vilivyo, na ningependa kumwambia asante sana kwa kujaribu kuhakikisha lugha yetu ya taifa ndio tunaendelesha. Ndugu Spika,
what's your point of order, Senator Mundigi? Give Senator Mundigi the microphone.
Bwana Spika, Ni asanti kwa kuruhusu senator wa Kisii aweze kuongea, lakini nataka nimfahamishe saa hii tukiwa senator ama katika kikao ya Senate, mimi si mzee Mundigi, mimi ni senator wa Embu County, Daktari Mundigi. Asante Bwana Speaker.
Senator Onyonka.
Asante ndugu Speaker, sababu ambayo ilinifanya nikatumia mzee ni kwa kiheshima, si kwa miaka yako, lakini kwa vile umejitambua, inaonekana miaka yako ni mingi sana. Pole. Ndugu Speaker, ningependa kusema kuwa ugonjwa wa saratani ni ugonjwa ambao umetufikia hivi sasa. Nchi yetu ya Kenya, kuna uchambuzi umefanywa kwanza kuuliza ni sababu gani inaofanya ugonjwa wa saratani uanze kuua wa Kenya vile unaoa wakati huu. Jambo la kwanza ndugu Speaker ni kuwa chakula tunayokula wakati huu, wale ambao wamepewa nafasi ya kuchunguza kuhakikisha hiki chakula ni chakula ambacho chenye afya, chenye dhamani. Ndugu Speaker, sasa tunavunja sheria. Hata ukiangalia Kenya Bureau of Standards, hata ukiangalia ile sukari tunakunywa, hata ukiangalia yale maji ambayo yanauzwa siku hizi yako ndani ya chupa. Haya mambo yote ndugu Speaker, ningependa kamati ya afya na haswa Wizara ya Afya tujaribu kujiuliza shida ambayo imetokea wakati huu ambako Wakenya wengi sana wameanza kufa kwa ugonjwa wa saratani. Sababu yake ni nini? Jambo la pili ndugu Speaker, kwa huu ugonjwa ni kuwa serikali imejihusisha, kasema kuwa kuna hela ambazo zitatolewa ziende kwa kila eneo gatuzi, kila county nataka iwe na hiyo hospitali. Mimi ningependa kuuliza wale ambao wanahusika wahakikishe kuwa hili jambo liangaliwe, serikali ujihusishe, na wale ambao wanatibu huu ugonjwa wa saratani wajaribu wezavyo kuhakikisha kuwa Wakenya wa kawaida, wale ambao hawana hela kulipa wapelekwa ng'ambo kutibiwa, wapate nafuu hapa nchini kwetu. Jambo la mwisho ningependa kulichangia ndugu Speaker ni hili jambo la Mheshimiwa Cherargei. Ndugu Cherargei, kwa kusema ukweli, sababu ambayo Wakenya wanadhulumiwa vile wanadhulumiwa ni sisi wale viongozi ambao na wale maofisa, hata wale wa zamani, hatuandiki mikataba ambayo inalinda Wakenya wakienda nje kufanya kazi. Wakenya wakienda kufanya kazi kule nje, hakuna mtu anashughulika. Tena jambo la pili ndugu Speaker, ningependa kusema si eti wale wafanyikazi wa serikali wote ambao ni mabalozi wanafanya kazi kule nje ni wabaya. Kusema kweli ndugu Speaker, ningependa kutoa shukran sana kwa hii serikali ya Mheshimiwa William Ruto, kwa sababu yule msichana ambaye Mkenya alikuwa anaenda kunyongwa kule Bama alipona chupu chupu kwa sababu serikali ilijihusisha. Tungependa serikali iendelee kufanya zile vitu ambazo zinafanya Wakenya wanawaheshimu, na muhakikishe imefanya, ndio wale wagonjwa wana saratani watibiwe, na hawa marasha wanaenda, nyinyi ndio mnawapeleka pale. Wachana na hayo. Asante ndugu Speaker.
Honorable Senators, order, honorable members. The time I had allocated for comments on the statements is over. We will proceed to transact the next order. Clerk, call the next order. I had directed 10 minutes for comments on the statement. Clerk, call the next order.
Order number 8, motion. Approval of Senator Kiprono Chimitej Cheburet, MP, to serve in select committees of the Senate.
But then we go back to the statement. Allow them to.
Senate Majority Leader, move the motion under order number 8.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move that notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on 12th February 2025, on the approval of senators to serve in various standing committees of the Senate and pursuant to Standing Orders 197, 199, 228, and the fourth schedule of the Standing Orders, the Senate approves the following senator nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the standing committees of the Senate as follows. A, Standing Committee on Health, Senator Vincent Kiprono Chemitei Cheburet, MP, to replace Senator David Wafula Wakoli, CBS MP. And B, Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations, Senator Vincent Kiprono Chemitei Cheburet, MP, to replace Senator Tabitha Keroche Karanja, MP. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I request Honorable Cheregei to second.
Senator Samson Cheregei, proceed to second the motion.
What is it? Honorable Speaker, can you protect me from Senator Eddie?
Senator Wakoli, take your seat for purposes of Cheregei to second your motion. You are protected. And Senator Eddie is harmless.
Mr. Speaker, sir, as I rise to second this motion, is just a procedural motion. Speaker, as you are aware of Article 123 of the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya, and the Senate Standing Orders is very clear on the placement, on the role of committees, Mr. Speaker. As we welcome Senator Vincent Kiprono Chemitei Cheburet as a member of Health Committee, and as a member of National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations. Mr. Speaker, this is what the Tanzanians call, quote unquote, nguvu mpya. So as he serves the Health Committee, Mr. Speaker, you are aware, is undergoing very serious, the health sector is undergoing very serious challenges. Mr. Speaker, under fourth schedule, health is one of the key devolved functions that this Constitution did, Mr. Speaker. So we expect the Health Committee to rise up to the occasion now that they have a new senator by the name Senator Vincent Kiprono Chemitei Cheburet of Baringo County. Mr. Speaker, is to be in a position to assist. I know last year you had problems of health sector in Bomet. We have had issues of cancer, issues of SHA, Mr. Speaker. Even in Nandi, is no longer a going concern in, for example, Kapsabet County Referral Hospital, where there are no drugs, there is no medical services, Mr. Speaker. There is also a new unique challenge, Mr. Speaker, that there are so many stalled health projects in our counties. So we need the Health Committee, led by the Senator of Wasingishu, to be up to the game, Mr. Speaker, now that they have numbers, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, finally, on the Committee of National Security and Foreign Relations, as a member, Mr. Speaker, there are many challenges that the national security, and I know the chairperson, Senator Fatuma Dulo, who is a ranking member of this House, Mr. Speaker, having served longer than most of us on this floor of the House, their plate is full, Mr. Speaker. You are aware the national security, Mr. Speaker, is very critical. There was a small issue or a matter where young people were caned in a pool in Nandi Hills Town in Nandi County, Mr. Speaker. We need that issue to be resolved, Mr. Speaker. We are facing issues of extrajudicial killings. There was a young man who was killed, unfortunately, Oyamo, over the weekend in Kitengela, Mr. Speaker. And I want to ask our colleagues who are organizing political rallies, and I can see a number of them in this House, Mr. Speaker, not to sponsor violence in their own meetings, Mr. Speaker. We don't need them to sponsor. They need to ensure, Mr. Speaker, to notify the police in good time, Mr. Speaker. They need to issue notification, Mr. Speaker. They need to stop sponsoring violence in their own meetings, Mr. Speaker. And I'm calling the National Security Committee.
There are so many points of orders here. I'll take one from Senator Bambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Senator Cherargei is casting aspersions on his own colleagues. He has done two things. One, he has said that he can see members here who have been organizing political rallies and inciting people against their own political rallies. Can he name those members and give evidence of those members organizing violence in their own political rallies, Mr. Speaker? Can he substantiate what he is saying? I thank Mr. Speaker.
Senator Cherargei, the Speaker also noted that specific reference by Senator Wambua of members in the House and sponsoring violence. Please proceed to substantiate. If not, you know what to do.
Mr. Speaker, I said I can see, and I didn't know an offense is to organize a political rally. That is part one. Part two, Mr. Speaker, from the intelligence and even from the police reports and statements, a number of colleagues who are in political class have been organizing political rallies, and we have seen allegations of them sponsoring violence, Mr. Speaker. So I don't need to substantiate the obvious, and they know, they can see me. You can see the former Secretary General of ODM, Mr. Speaker, looking at me. I saw him, he had a rally, there is the deputy party leader, and a number of them, Mr. Speaker.
I hoped you were listening to the chair. I did declare that I also heard you making those statements.
Mr. Speaker.
If you are unable to substantiate, now I'm directing, you know what to do.
Mr. Speaker, can I request tomorrow at 2:30 to provide the substantiation?
Very well.
And Mr. Speaker, note some of the information will be classified.
Tomorrow,
so you will need to guide me on that.
Mr. Cherargei, you are expected to substantiate on the allegations made against your colleagues. Proceed to close.
Well guided, Mr. Speaker.
Second man of the motion.
But not also, Mr. Speaker, most of the information will be classified. Mr. Speaker, as I second, so the National Security Committee.
Order, honorable senators. Allow Senator Cherargei to conclude. I have directed that Senator Cherargei tomorrow at 2:30 p.m. substantiates on the allegations made, and that is the order from the chair. Allow him to conclude. I will not allow any other point of order. Senator Cherargei, please conclude.
Mr. Speaker, and they should be aware I have 20
Senator
minutes as a
Cherargei,
seconder.
please conclude. Don't tempt the chair.
Mr. Speaker.
Please don't.
But the standing order says I have 20 minutes.
Conclude.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. I was mentioning National Security Committee. Mr. Speaker, we have seen cases of insecurity escalation in Turkana, and some people were killed, and I'm aware the senator of Turkana is here with us, and he has been complaining a lot. We have the reemergence of gangs across the country. Mr. Speaker, we have seen a number of gangs reemerging, even what we saw in Mutuapa, Mr. Speaker. So, Senator Chemitei, led by our able chair, Madam Fatuma Dulo, who is a ranking member and the chair of National Security, should seize this matter and ensure all these issues. Mr. Speaker, on the small matter, I have seen in conclusion that the Minister of Gender has directed, and I hope the Committee of National Security, that there was a Russian, Mr. Speaker, who was taking advantage of our ladies in this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this Kenya is so open to everybody. You just come, tell a lady you are beautiful, then tell them you go to your house, then you tell them you have a broken English, Mr. Speaker. You can never, and they don't know English, you can never. Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the Committee of National Security, Suamoto, to direct the Inspector General of Police and the Minister concerned, including of gender, to appear and tell us what these Russian and other foreign nationals taking advantage of our girls and women, Mr. Speaker. Although I am aware my majority whip is saying that the guys should be invited for men's general conference to address and teach them the ways of the master. Mr. Speaker, some of us have been suffering, fare has been eaten, coffee dates, and then somebody from nowhere appears and he is eating our cabbages and everything, Mr. Speaker. So I hope, Mr. Speaker, we shall be able to resolve this matter, and I want to thank the CS for Gender for directing that the Russian national should and must be arrested, and any other national that is taking advantage of our girls and our women, Mr. Speaker. Our women, our girls should be left for only Kenyan men. Anybody else, we don't allow. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, I beg to second.
Honorable Senators, I now propose the question that notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on the 12th of February 2025 on the approval of senators to serve in various standing committees of the Senate and pursuant to standing orders 197, 199, 228, and the fourth schedule to the standing orders, the Senate approves the following senator nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the Standing Committee of the Senate as follows. A, Standing Committee on Health. Senator Vincent Kiprono Chemitei Cheburet, MP, to replace Senator David Wafula Wakoli, CBS, MP. And B, Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations. Senator Vincent Kiprono Chemitei Cheburet, MP, to replace Senator Tabitha Keroche Karanja, MGH, MP. Now, Honorable Senators, you are aware this is a mere procedural motion. I want, with your concurrence, to proceed to put the question. Thank you. I will now proceed to put the question that, notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on 12th of February 2025 on the approval of senators to serve in various standing committees of the Senate, and pursuant to standing orders 197, 199, and 228, and the fourth schedule to the standing orders, the Senate approves the following senator nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the Standing Committee of the Senate as follows. A, Standing Committee on Health, Senator Vincent Kiprono Chemitei Cheburet, MP, to replace Senator David Wafula Wakoli, CBS, MP. And B, Standing Committee on National Security, Defense, and Foreign Relations, Senator Vincent Kiprono Chemitei Cheburet, MP, to replace Senator Tabitha Keroche Karanja, MGH, MP. Now, will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Clerk, you may now call the next order.
Order number 9, motion. Extension of time for consideration of the crops BICSA regulations, legal notice number 145 of 2025.
Senator Mungatana.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to move the motion for extension of time for consideration of the crops BICSA regulations, legal notice number 145 of 2025. Mr. Speaker, the motion reads as follows: that aware that the crops BICSA regulation legal notice number 145 of 2025 was tabled in the Senate on the Thursday, 25th September 2025, and referred to the Select Committee on Delegated Legislation for consideration pursuant to Section 12(1) of the Statutory Instruments Act, cognizant that the committee is required to make a report within 28 sitting days after the date of referral of the instrument by the Senate pursuant to Section 15(2) of the Statutory Instruments Act, which will lapse on Tuesday, 17th February 2026, that is today. Aware that Section 15, subsection 3 of the Statutory Instruments Act provides that by a resolution, Parliament may extend the time for consideration of a statutory instrument by a period of not exceeding 21 days, 21 calendar days. Noting that the committee requires more time to consider concerns raised by stakeholders on the regulation, now therefore the Senate resolves to extend the timeline for the consideration of the crops BICSA regulations, legal notice number 145 of 2025, for a further 21 days pursuant to section 15.3 of the Statutory Instruments Act to enable the committee consider objections raised by the public and make its resolution on or before Tuesday, 3rd March 2026. Mr. Speaker, these regulations are regulations affecting very small scale farmers and also big producers. Mr. Speaker, these regulations, if we don't get the extension, according to the Statutory Instruments Act, they will take effect automatically. So some of the stakeholders have already expressed worries because they impose a levy, a 1% levy on processed BICSA. They are also proposing 3% levy on raw BICSA that is for export. They are proposing 2% levy on imported BICSA products. So, Mr. Speaker, when you look at it, the public that has raised concerns over these regulations, the public want us to look at them again. The committee needs more time, Mr. Speaker. We also need to listen to more of the small-scale farmers. Because, Mr. Speaker, these regulations that have been proposed by the executive, they have put some heavy requirements on registration, on licensing, on traceability and quality standards for all producers and growers of BICSA in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, these growers are mostly found in Kwale County. Mr. Speaker, for them to comply, if you look at the small-scale growers there, for them to comply with these regulations, it's going to be very costly. And they have put these concerns before the committee. We would like more time to consider. We would like more people to come and express their ideas on what we need to do with these regulations. Mr. Speaker, there's also a pricing committee that has been proposed in these regulations by the ministry. Now, the people are fearing that maybe this pricing committee can exclude the small-scale farmers and give the producers an advantage. So, Mr. Speaker, we are humbly coming before the House to request that we are given more time as delegated legislation committee so that we can give opportunity to those people who have concerns over these regulations so that we can apply our mind and, Mr. Speaker, give proper recommendation before this House and a recommendation that will serve our producers in grassroots level, as well as the big farmers who are in this business of BICSA production. Mr. Speaker, with those few remarks, I am requesting this House to approve extension of time as we have requested so that we can have time to make resolution on or before Tuesday, 3rd March 2026. Mr. Speaker, I beg to move and ask my colleague, who is also a member of the committee, the Honorable Connie Wakabubu, to second this motion. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Wabubu, proceed to second the motion. Give her the microphone. You can proceed to the dispatch, Honorable Senator. Oh, no, you have it. Proceed from your desk.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for according me this opportunity as one of the members of the Delegated Legislation Committee member. I want to state categorically that Bixar is a significant cash crop in Kenya, and it has several uses. For example, it's used in the food industry as a food colorant. It's also used as a medicine, as well as in cosmetics. Therefore, it impacts on human beings, and therefore, as a committee mandated to look at the legislation and scrutinize some of these statutory instruments, it's important that we scrutinize it critically and bring out what is important and what can be consumed. Therefore, I want to second Senator Mungatana's humble request that we be given more time to work on it. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Honorable Senators, I now propose the question. Senator Chirargei, you may take your seat. Honorable Senators, I now propose the question that pursuant to Standing Orders 190 and 199.3, the Senate approves the following Senate. I'll take it back. Very well, I'll take it back again. Honorable Senators, I wish to propose the question that, aware that the crops Bixar regulations legal notice number 145 of 2025 were tabled in the Senate on Thursday, 25th of September 2025, and referred to the Select Committee on Delegated Legislation for consideration pursuant to Section 12, subsection 1 of the Statutory Instruments Act, cognizant that the committee is required to make a report within 28 sitting days after the date of referral of the instrument by the Senate pursuant to Section 15, subsection 2 of the Statutory Instruments Act, which will lapse on Tuesday, 17th of February 2026, aware that Section 15.3 of the Statutory Instrument Act provides that by a resolution, a Parliament may extend the time for consideration of a statutory instrument by a period not exceeding 21 calendar days, noting that the committee requires more time to consider concerns raised by stakeholders on the regulations. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves to extend the timeline for the consideration of the crops Bixar regulations, legal notice number 145 of 2025, for a further 21 days pursuant to Section 15, subsection 3 of the Statutory Instruments Act, to enable the committee consider objections raised by the public and make its resolution on or before Tuesday, 3rd March of 2026. Honorable Senators, this is another procedural motion. With your concurrence, I will proceed to put the question. Thank you. Senator Mofaya, you may take your seat. Honorable Senators, I now put the question that aware the crops Bixar regulations, legal notice number 145 of 2025, were tabled in the Senate on Thursday, 25th of September 2025, and referred to the Select Committee on Delegated Legislation for consideration pursuant to Section 12, subsection 1 of the Statutory Instruments Act, cognizant that the committee is required to make a report within 28 sitting days after the date of referral of the instrument by the Senate pursuant to Section 15, subsection 2 of the Statutory Instruments Act, which will lapse on Tuesday, 17th of February, 2026. Aware that Section 15, subsection 3 of the Statutory Instruments Act provides that by a resolution, Parliament may extend the time for consideration of a statutory instrument by a period not exceeding 21 calendar days, noting that the committee requires more time to consider concerns raised by stakeholders on the regulations. Now, therefore, the Senate resolves to extend the timeline for the consideration of the crops BICSA regulations, legal notice number 145 of 2025, for a further 21 days pursuant to Section 15, subsection 3 of the Statutory Instruments Act, to enable the committee consider objections raised by the public and make its resolution on or before Tuesday, 3rd of March 2026. Now, honorable senators, will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Clerk, you may call the next order. Honorable senators, for the convenience of the business of today's order paper, we will reorganize the order paper and call order number 11 for purposes of approval of the calendar of the House. Clerk, you may call out order number 11.
Order number 11, motion. Approval of the Senate calendar, regular sessions for the 5th session.
Give me my notes, the one.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Majority Leader, of course, I'm sure Majority Whip is doing it on behalf of the Leader of Majority. Proceed to do that.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to move that pursuant to Standing Order 32, 1, the Senate approves its calendar register sessions for the 5th session, February to December 2026, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 12th February 2026. Let me allow my good friend Eddie to second.
Senator Eddie, proceed to second the motion.
Mr. Speaker, this is a very important motion. It is important to the extent that this Senate must focus on some very serious issues in this particular session. I know there is pressure because people want to focus on other things. I see there's appetite to talk about other things, but I think that the calendar is a very important one. So I want to, right from the start, second this as moved, but I want to emphasize, Mr. Speaker, that there are very critical issues that we must consider in this calendar year. I have emphasized that time without number, that we need to look at how our counties are being run, because this is the year when you will start seeing a lot of discrepancies and variances in our accounts in the counties, where people want to siphon a lot of resources to go to the campaign with. And this is not throwing any aspersion to the side of the governors, but these are trends that we have seen. So I hope that in this calendar year, Mr. Speaker, we can be able to focus on the books of governors and not just deal with them in the committees. Let us see them coming here to be debated. Alongside that, Mr. Speaker, we must be able to interrogate and engage the national government in its BPS that it has just forwarded, Mr. Speaker. There are a lot of things that I hope that we as a House will be able to look at, but most importantly, let us do our work to make sure that we can be able to enhance the audit machinery, the audit function of this House with regards to how money is being spent in this country. I second, and I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, I now propose the question that pursuant to Standing Order 32-1, Senator Joyce Korir, take your seat. Honorable Senators, I now propose the question that pursuant to Standing Order 32-1, the Senate approves its calendar regular sessions for the 5th session, February to December 2026, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 12th of February 2026. Honorable Senators, similar to the previous two motions that we've dealt with, this is another procedural motion, and with your concurrence, I will proceed to put the question. Now, Honorable Senators, I put the question that pursuant to Standing Order 32-1, the Senate approves its calendar regular sessions for the 5th session, February to December 2026, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 12th of February 2026. Now, will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honorable members, I have received a request from members, which I had earlier on acceded to, that we give additional 8 minutes for members to comment on the statements earlier on by Senator Okenyuri, Senator Cherargei, and Senator, who was the third senator? Senator Omtata, yes. I will give each member 2 minutes, 4 of you. So we have got the 8 minutes to be taken, shared among 4 members. And from my dashboard here, I have got Senator Sifuna. I have got Senator on this side. I'll give 2 members on this side, 2 members on this side. Senator Sifuna.
Mr. Speaker, I would want to comment on the statement brought by the Senator Funandi on the luring of Kenyans into the Russian-Ukraine war. Honorable Speaker, towards the end of last year, I attended the launch of a report by Oxfam titled The Kenya's Inequality Crisis, the Great Economic Divide. And for the benefit of this House, Honorable Speaker, that report, just to highlight, nearly half of Kenyans live in extreme poverty. The Senator for Mandera was just briefing me on the drought situation there. There are over 10,000 households that are affected by drought. The second notable thing, Honorable Speaker, the study found that the top 1% in Kenya controls 78% of the country's financial wealth, while a majority struggle. Thirdly, Honorable Speaker, and last, that the richest 125 individuals in Kenya hold more wealth than a combined 43 million of us in this country. Why do I bring this report here, Honorable Speaker? I want to argue that it is in fact ourselves who have created an impossible situation, an impossible life for Kenyans, that it is very easy for them to fall into these traps, Honorable Speaker. When you are looking at your family starving and somebody tells you, I can get you a job somewhere, you will most likely want to go and do that job, even when, Honorable Speaker, you might not be, it might not be in your best interest. We have heard of these stories in Myanmar, Honorable Speaker. There was Kenyans that were lured there to go and do some extortion business. And now Russia, we have heard about the situation again in Saudi. We met with the Saudi ambassador, the Kenyan ambassador to Saudi in December as well, Honorable Speaker, Ambassador Ruwenge. And he painted a very dire picture that Kenyans are very, very easily lied to by cartels that are operating within this country. Honorable Speaker, it is incumbent upon Parliament, not Parliament, but the national government, to be able to protect life and property, to be able to protect the life of a citizen. These stories we hear, because we have seen international media even reporting, Mr. Speaker, that some of these agencies that are being used to lure Kenyans into these traps are owned by very powerful people in government. And I am sure that unless we uncover those cartels, these problems are going to persist. So we must look at ourselves. What sort of environment, what sort of society have we created for the young people, Honorable Speaker, of these 125 richest individuals in Kenya? You would be very interested to see if there is anyone below the age of 35 in that group. Mr. Speaker, we must resolve the situation of our own people so that we save them from these traps that have been set by these cartels. I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Wakoli.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity to contribute to this pandemic. Honorable Speaker, it's sad that we were just enjoying Valentine the other day. Kenyans surprised themselves with flowers, others with chocolates, while our Russian counterpart was ravaging our cabbages without any mercy, Honorable Speaker. This matter, Honorable Speaker, reflects on the issue that Honorable Cherege has just raised about the Russian problem. And I was sharing with Cherege and asking him, Honorable Speaker, our young people are dying. They are being duped, as Senator Sifuna said, that there is green land far away where they will always harvest milk and honey. And there they go to Russia, Honorable Speaker. But as we say that, we have a similar scenario in counties of Kenya, where county governments are behaving like the Russian cartels, duping our young people, taking them around in circles, some way back from 2016 with appointment letters but no jobs to be done. Courts have resolved that these young people be employed, but governors will prefer boarding planes to various destinations in the world, but our young people suffering and praying to God that where did they go wrong? Honorable Speaker, we must weigh in this matter, that as cartels in government and those who are friends of government take advantage of our young people, we must be able to call them out. As boldly as we are calling out county governments who are not remitting taxes, statutory deductions of our young people, but they have an allocation called
Senator Wakoli, your 2 minutes is up. Senator Olekina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to make some brief comments on this very disturbing statement by the distinguished senator from Nandi. But the question, Mr. Speaker, that all of us must ask ourselves is that how much is this parliament contributing to Kenyans running away because of unemployment, to seek for greener pastures abroad, where they can be risky, they can be arrested, they can be molested, their passports are taken away. What are we doing and what are we going to do to solve that problem? I'm tired of us lamenting on a daily basis. There is a law which we are now considering in terms of legal migration. We need to fast track that. The Labour Committee must now go bring that legislation, and we fast track it to make sure that we license a handful of agencies in this country who are the only ones who will be required to recruit migrants abroad. Number two, we must ensure that the Ministry of Labour, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the executive work hand in hand to be able to stop this. Finally, Mr. Speaker, our county governments must re-engineer their CIDPs to create employment locally. People are running away. Governors are lining their pockets. Yet our people die because of hunger, Mr. Speaker. It is uncouth that we have professors, we have highly educated Kenyans who are jobless. Every single day, I dare say, all of you receive requests from people who are highly educated to be able to get them a job or pay for their kids' school fees. It behooves us, and it's only us who can end this. We cannot lament, we cannot blame other countries. We start from here. Our embassies abroad, I feel sorry for them. Most of them have no budgets. They have no money. And
your time is up, Senator Olekina. Senator Murango.
Asante sana Mr. Speaker. Kwanza ningetaka kuchangia hoja ya taarifa ambayo iletwa na Senator Kenyuri. Mr. Speaker, afya njema ni tanjamara na kuishi ni faradhi. Na kwa hivyo Mr. Speaker, wakati ugonjwa wa saratani unaingia kwenye familia, tushaona familia ambazo zimefilisika kujaribu kutimbu mpenda wao, wanabaki kuokota virombo kwa sababu ya kuishiwa na kufilisika. Mr. Speaker, katika mpango wa SHA ambao wagonjwa wa saratani walikuwa nafaa kupata timba ambayo ilikuwa hadi shilingi 800,000 laki 8, Mr. Speaker. Ni vizuri kama ingeanza kufanyishwa kazi haraka iwezekanavyo ili tuweze kuwakinga na kuwatibu wale wagonjwa wa saratani ambao wanahangaika, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, katika hospitali zetu pia ukiangalia katika kaunti nyingi, gatuzi nyingi, licha ya kupata fedha nyingi, hawajatilia maanani sana kutibu saratani. Na nikimalizia Mr. Speaker, katika taarifa imeletwa na Senator wa Nandi ni kwamba wale waliohusika katika kupeleka wale vijana kule wanafaa kunyang'anywa leseni zao na wasiweze kurudishiwa, kwa sababu Warusi wakuja kuwashika vijana wetu mateka hapa. Walipelekwa na watu ambao wengine waliitisha pesa na wakapeleka pale. Asante sana Mr. Speaker.
Senator Wambua, as you close.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to go on record on that matter raised by Senator Cherage. Mr. Speaker, I want to say two things. One, this matter is so serious, Mr. Speaker, that actually we need a motion to discuss this issue. This issue is beyond Kenya, Mr. Speaker. I was in Uganda with some of my colleagues here when we went for the games in December last year. And at the airport, Mr. Speaker, hundreds of young people being ferried away to Arabian countries, to seek employment, Mr. Speaker. When you go to the JKIA today, the bulk of the people traveling out of the country is young people going out for jobs. So, Speaker, the irony of this matter is, once these young people leave this country, our government has no touch with these people. They are recruited to go and do decent assignments. When they get there, everything changes. And there's nobody to follow up on what they are doing. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, when the governors met in Kilifi, for heaven's sake, this is a matter that should have occupied the minds and the time of governors to discuss on how to help their young people in their counties to get jobs, not to discuss how they are going to escape accountability, Mr. Speaker. But, Speaker, these issues need to be discussed and discussed seriously, even through a motion. I thank Cherargei Senator Nandi for bringing up this issue, but I really fault him for casting aspersions on his colleagues. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Senators, I had indicated earlier on that I'll do 2 members each side. You will notice that I have given an extra person. The chair is on the microphone, Senator Beatrice. I will exercise the discretion in the interest of colleague senators here to allow Senator Consolata 2 minutes, and lastly, Senator Beatrice, 2 minutes. We will close on that debate, and Senator Wambua, I encourage you to pursue it in the form of a motion that you have proposed, so that members can still contribute to this particular motion. Senator Consolata.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, for according me this opportunity to contribute towards Senator Esio Kenyuri's statement on accessibility of cancer medication. Cancer has become a monster, or rather a menace, in our community and in our entire nation. I would like to contribute by saying that as a country, there is need for us to flex a little bit on the red tape or other bureaucracies that are laid as procedural measures for the patients to access this cancer treatment. A case in Bungoma County where we find breast cancer and cervical cancer on a high rate, and we are really taking a lot of time and effort to do a lot of fighting cancer. Screening is done, yes, but it seems to be very expensive and inaccessible, especially to the rural woman. So I want also to appreciate the statement and look at the costs, the cost analysis of what is being spent on cancer treatment, because some of these rural women cannot be able to afford that cost for the cancer treatment, maybe to transport their patients to referral hospitals. So there is also need to decentralize these facilities, even down at the grassroots. So I want to impress availability, supply, affordability, and access of cancer treatment to our counties, not only in Bungoma County, but all the 47 counties. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and therefore I support Senator Okenyuri's statement.
Senator Beatrice Ogola.
Thank you, the Honorable Speaker, for the wisdom that you have while at your chair. Honorable Speaker, I would like to support the statement by my sister, Senator Esio Kenyuri, especially on the cancer treatment and with a focus to availability of services, to access to early services, and particularly to public facilities. Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the treatment of cancer, if it is delayed, becomes so expensive and beyond the general public that we have. Honorable Speaker, even as the statement talks about Kenyatta National Hospital, Honorable Speaker, many patients, by the time they arrive or they are referred to Kenyatta National Hospital, they will be at later stages that come with a lot of expenses while treating the cancer patient. Honorable Speaker, in the last few weeks, I've had a personal patient, and I want to thank Coptic Coastal for the services they rendered to this patient. But I keep on asking, if I met those expenses, what about the many Kenyans that are there, Honorable Speaker? And that is why the Ministry of Health should unlock the benefits that come with SHA. We want to see availability of services and many patients accessing cancer treatment services, and especially down at the health centers, at the dispensaries, because, Honorable Speaker, we need even to go to another step of declaring cancer a disaster in this country. A number of people are suffering and are not able to meet the expenses that come with the treatment of cancer. And Honorable Speaker, I want to declare that SHA is...
Your time is up, Senator Beatrice. Your time is up. Take your seat. Now, clerk, let us now resume order number 12. You may call that out.
Order number 12, motion, consideration of the report of the Mediation Committee on the Coffee Bill, Senate Bills number 10 of 2023.
First, Chairperson, Mediation Committee, to move the motion, Senator Wakoli.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to move that the Senate adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Coffee Bill, Senate number 10 of 2023, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 4th December 2025, and that pursuant to Article 1132 of the Constitution and Standing Order 1673 of the Senate, approves the mediated version of the bill. Honorable Speaker, I want to appreciate the Almighty for us to cross over this year. As we left last year, Honorable Speaker, the Kenyan farmer, the coffee farmer, was anxiously waiting to see how far this bill goes, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the mediation committee of this bill, number 23, was constituted by the Speaker of the National Assembly on 22nd July 2025, pursuant to Standing Order 1492 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, and the Speaker of the Senate on 20th of May 2025, pursuant to Standing Order 1162 of the Senate Standing Orders. The committee held 5 sittings to deliberate on the coffee bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2023, in accordance with the Constitution and relevant provisions of the Standing Orders of the Senate and the National Assembly. Having considered the Coffee Bill, Senate 10 of 2023, the committee observed, 1, the coffee law will help to regulate the coffee industry in Kenya, as it will ensure that producers and manufacturers comply with established standards and guidelines. This will help in improving the quality of coffee products and ensure the consumers are protected from harmful and substandard products. 2, a clear legal framework for the coffee industry will make it easier for investors to understand the regulatory environment and make informed decisions about investing in the sector. This can lead to increased investment in coffee production and processing facilities, which will create jobs and drive economic growth. 3, the Coffee Bill 2023 has provisions that protect domestic coffee producers from unfair competition from foreign imports and middlemen. This will help to support local coffee production and ensure that Kenya's coffee industry remains viable unsustainable. 4, the coffee industry is an important part of Kenya's agricultural sector, and promoting the growth and development of the industry will promote food security in the country. This is especially important given Kenya's dependence on imported coffee and other food products. 5, a well-regulated coffee industry will generate significant revenue for the Kenyan government through taxes and other fees. This revenue will be used to support important social programs and infrastructure projects. The committee, having reviewed the Coffee Bill, Senate 10 of 2023, recommends that the House approves the bill with amendments as proposed in the schedule in Chapter 5 of this report. The committee is grateful to the offices of the Speaker and the clerks of both Houses of Parliament for the logistical and technical support accorded to it in the execution of its mandate. Finally, we express our appreciation to members of the committee and the committee secretariat for their patience, sacrifice, endurance, and commitment to the assignment which enabled the committee to complete the task within the stipulated period. It is now my special privilege and honor to commend this report to the Houses for approval on behalf of the Mediation Committee pursuant to Article 113(2) of the Constitution, Standing Order 1501 of the National Assembly Standing Orders, and Standing Order 1611 of the Senate Standing Committee. Senator Wafula Wakoli, MP Chairperson, Mediation Committee on the Coffee Bill, Senate number 10 of 2023. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I want to request Honorable Murango, who was my former chair on agriculture, to second.
Senator Murango.
Asante sana Mstahiki Spika. Mstahiki Spika, naunga mkono sheria ambayo imeletwa hapa na kusomwa na mwenyekiti wa kamati ya kulima katika bunge la Seneti. Mstahiki Spika, leo najivunia kusimama mbele ya Seneti kuangazia mswada kawa ambao niliudhamini kama seneta wa Kirinyaga na kuungwa mkono na bunge zima la Seneti. Mstahiki Spika, safari ya kukuza kahawa ilianza kabla wa mwaka wa 1932 wakati wa Orowezi. Na Mstahiki Spika, kahawa si zao tu. Kahawa ni urithi wetu. Mstahiki Spika, fedha za kigeni zinazoletwa na wakulima wa kahawa nchini ni takriban milioni 293 milioni dola za Kimarekani. Mstahiki Spika, wakulima wanaohusika moja kwa moja katika ukulima wa kahawa nchini ni takriban wakulima milioni 1. Na Mstahiki Spika, gatuzi ama kaunti ambazo zinazohusika katika kukuza kahawa ni gatuzi 33. Kwa hivyo Mstahiki Spika, tunapoongea mambo ya kahawa ni mambo ambayo ni muhimu sana kwa Kenya hii na ni muhimu sana pia kwa wakulima yetu. Na ndiyo maana Mstahiki Spika, mimi nikiwa mkulima wa kahawa, ninapoongea mambo ya kahawa wakati mwingine na huwa nashikwa na hisia kwa sababu ya mambo ambayo mambo mazito ambayo mkulima kahawa amekuwa akipitia. Mstahiki Spika, ndio mtu wa kahawa uanze kuzaa kahawa mara ya kwanza, inahitajika kuupanda, kupalilia na kupatia mbolea kwa miaka 3 ndio uanze kupata zao la kwanza. Na Mstahiki Spika, mara kwa mara wakati kahawa inapofikia kuvunwa, unapata wakilitimba ndo wanaingilia na kuweza kuchukua fedha ambazo zinafaa kuwa za wakulima. Na ndio maana Mstahiki Spika, sheria tulipopitisha juzi ambayo inaratibu utendakazi wa vyama vya ushirika katika kuangazia zao la kahawa imekuwa ni na maana kubwa sana kuhakikisha kwamba fedha inapopatikana katika soko la kahawa kutoka katika jiji la Nairobi inaenda mpaka mashinani na kusaidia wakulima. Mstahiki Spika, eneo la Kirinyaga mahali nimetoka ndilo linaongoza katika ukulima wa kahawa kwa wale wakulima ndogo. Namba 1 inaongoza ni Kiambu, lakini wale ni wale wanalima mashamba makubwa. Kaunti ya 3 katika ukulima wa kahawa ni kaunti ya Kericho, ikifuatilia kwa karibu na kaunti ya Nandi na kaunti zinginezo. Mstahiki Spika, kwa hivyo ninapoongea hapa naongea juu ya zao ambao ni muhimu sana kwa Wakenya. Na Mstahiki Spika, wanaokunywa kahawa ni wengi sana.
hata hatujafikisha kiwango cha kuweza kuridhisha soko ya kahawa. Mstahiki Spika, kahawa ndio zao peke yake duniani ambalo ni la pili kuuzwa na kununuliwa, na ni baada ya mafuta peke yake, Mstahiki Spika. Kwa hivyo wanaouza mafuta ambao tunatumia katika magari zetu na katika viwanda zetu, kitu ambacho ni cha pili duniani ni kahawa. Lakini Mstahiki Spika, lazima pia tuangalie sheria ambazo zinafinya wakulima wa kahawa. Mojawapo ni sheria ambazo zilikuwa zimeletwa za malipo ya moja kwa moja. Mstahiki Spika, mswada huu ama sheria hii inakuja kuondoa kero ambayo ilikuwa imeenda kwa wakulima, kwamba mtu akiuza kahawa yake alipwe na mpesa moja kwa moja, na hiyo ingeua vyama vya ushirika ambalo ni muhimu sana katika wakulima. Mstahiki Spika, Mstahiki Spika, wakati mkulima wa kahawa anapokuwa na matatizo ya karo ya shule, anapokuwa na matatizo ya kiafya, katika utaratibu ulio katika vyama vya ushirika, anapata nafasi ya kwenda kule na kupata fedha ili kujikimu kwa mahitaji yake. Mstahiki Spika, ya pili, katika mswada huu tunarudisha bodi ya kahawa nchini ambayo ilikuwepo hapo miaka michache iliyopita na kuondolewa, ambao iliondolewa na kuwekwa pamoja na AFA na shirika la AFA, taasisi ya AFA. Mstahiki Spika, kahawa haiwezi kuwekwa pamoja na mazao ya mboga na kalela na vibamia, kwa sababu wanaoumia wakati kahawa haijaangaliwa sana ni wakulima wengi sana nchini. Mstahiki Spika, kutakuwa pia katika huu mswada, wakati bodi itaundwa, Mstahiki Spika, kutakuwa na mkurugenzi mtendaji ambaye atakaa pale, kutakuwa na mwenyekiti ambaye atakuwa anapatia macho na kuangalia na kuhakikisha kwamba kahawa inapewa nafasi yake katika nchi hii. Ya pili, kutakuwa na taasisi ya uchunguzi ya kuboresha kahawa na miti ambayo inapandwa na wakulima. Mstahiki Spika, ukienda katika nyanja za juu utapata kuna kahawa fulani, kuna kahawa ambayo inapandwa sehemu zile, sio kama ile inapandwa nyanja za chini, inaitwa SL34 na SL34 na SL28, ambayo inaweza kujikimu katika sehemu kama za Kajiado, Machakos na sehemu nyingi za chini. Lakini sehemu za juu kahawa, ile aina ya kahawa haiwezi kujikimu kwa sababu ya ugonjwa ambao unaitwa CBD. Kwa hivyo katika taasisi ambayo inaitwa CRI kwa kimombo, Coffee Research Institute, itaweza kuangalia na kuangazia kuhakikisha kwamba mbegu na miche inayopewa wakulima inalingana na hali ya hewa katika sehemu zile, ili tuweze kuongeza zao la kahawa na tuweze pia kupata fedha zaidi. Mstahiki Spika, pia kuna kutafuta soko. Sasa Mstahiki Spika, ukiangalia kwamba na niseme serikali imefanya kazi kuhakikisha kwamba kuna uhusiano mzuri kati ya Kenya na Marekani. Huo uhusiano umekuwa mbaya katika Amerika ya Brazil na nchi zingine kutoka pande hiyo, Mstahiki Spika, kusini mwa Amerika. Hiyo ni kusema kwamba Kenya tuna nafasi zaidi ya kupeleka kahawa yetu katika nchi za ng'ambo, hususan Amerika, na kuuza kwa bei nzuri. Miaka iliyopita kama 2-3, bei ya kahawa imekuwa ikiongezeka. Tatizo imekuwa moja, kwamba wakiritimba wameingilia vyama vya ushirika na kuhakikisha kwamba mkulima hawezi kupata haki yake. Na ndio nasema ile sheria tulipitisha hapa juzi ambayo inaratibu utendakazi wa vyama vya ushirika inakuwa ni nzuri sana. Nikimalizia, kuna fedha ambazo zinapeanwa kwa wale wanakuza mazao, kwa kimombo inaitwa commodities fund. Ni vizuri pia iweze kufikia kila mtu. Nimeangalia jedwali lililotoka, Mstahiki Spika, na kuangalia kati ya zile vyama vya ushirika ambazo ziliweza kupata ile fedha, nyingi zilitoka kwa kaunti, si kaunti zaidi ya 3. Unapata kuna kaunti ambao vyama vya ushirika 4 vimepata milioni 300. Unapata kaunti kama ya Nandi, Kirinyaga, Kericho hata moja haijapata. Mstahiki Spika, ndio nasema wakati utaratibu unaangaliwa, wale wanafaa kufutiliwa mandeni kupitia taasisi ambayo inatoa fedha kwa wale wanauza mazao, ni vizuri tuangalie pia wale ambao pia wanatoa kahawa nyingi. Itakuwa ni aibu kwamba gatuzi kama Kirinyaga ambao sisi tunaongoza kutoa kahawa, hata shirika moja halikuweza kupata zile fedha. Ukiangalia katika eneo la Nyamira walipata tu chama ushirika moja tu ndio iliweza kupata. Katika Makueni hakuna kitu niliona, katika Kitui hakuna hata moja, na Machakos na kwingineko. Kwa hivyo ningesema ya kwamba tusiwe na ubaguzi wakati tunapeana fedha ili tuweze kustawisha kilimo cha kahawa. Kwa zile gatuzi zetu wote wamelala. Unaangalia kwamba pesa ambazo zinapeanwa hakuna county kati ya zile county 33 ambao wanafaa kutoa pesa fulani katika bajeti zao ziweze kustawisha kilimo cha kahawa. Unapata zote hakuna fedha inayokuwa mkulima wa kahawa. Unapata minanda ama mahali wanaenda kupeleka kahawa zao wanaweka katika nyaya za kuku ambazo zinaanguka, na chakula kinafaa kiwe mahali ambapo kinawekwa katika mandhari nzuri ili wazungu waweze kununua. Ya kwamba akija kutembelea viwanda vingi vyetu vya kahawa unapata wanapatana na hali ambao usafi si mzuri sana. Ukiangalia zile matengi ambao wanaweka kahawa ni mbovu, vifaa vya kupakia kahawa haziko sawa. Kwa hivyo tungeuliza mangavana wapunguze matumbo, kwa sababu wao kazi yao ni kwenda na kutukashifu. Nashangaa sana Mr. Speaker, tulizunguka na Senator Wakoli katika kaunti ya Bungoma. Unapata wale wakulima wa Bungoma hawafaidiki na lolote kutoka kwa gatuzi la Bungoma. Lakini gavana tulimuona juzi kule katika hali ya kutafuta nani atafunga paka kengele Kilifi, anatukashifu sisi kuliko angalie wakulima wa Bungoma. Na ukiangalia hiyo chaguo la watu ambao wanakemea tu seneti bila kufanya kazi yao, niliona kwa kumpa nafasi hiyo gavana ni sawa tu na watu ambao wamefiwa kutumiwa mtengeneza jeneza kuja kuomboleza na kulia na wao. Na hiyo inakuwa ni dhahiri kwamba haja kuja kulia na wale waliofiwa, amekuja biashara ya kuuza jeneza. Asante sana Mr. Speaker. Naunga mkono mswada ulioletwa na Senator Wakoli.
Now, honorable senators, having heard that motion seconded, I will proceed to propose the question that the Senate adopts the report of the Mediation Committee on the Coffee Bill, Senate Bills number 10 of 2023, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 4th of December 2025, and that pursuant to Article 113, Sub-Article 2 of the Constitution and Standing Order 167.3 of the Senate, approves the mediated version of the bill. This is now available, honorable senators, for your contribution, and I will call upon Senator Samson Cherargei to contribute to this bill.
Mr. Speaker, from the onset, I want to support this mediated version of the bill, Coffee Bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2023. And I want to thank Senator Kamau Morango, who was very instrumental in this bill, and also thank the chair of a mediated version, who was the vice chair to the National Assembly chair for this mediated version of the bill. So, Speaker, I'm happy finally the long walk of anchoring the coffee bill into action or into an act of law has almost come finally to the end, where we expect the President to assent to this bill, Mr. Speaker, to support what we used to call guarantee minimum returns. So, Speaker, I know you are part of the people who drafted the UDA manifesto, and one of the things that we look to is the guarantee minimum returns. And there were sector reforms, for the information of Senator Wambua, is that there were sector reforms. One of the reforms was the tea sector, so Speaker, which we are still struggling, and I saw your region, KTDA, say 23 shillings per kilo, which is still very low. There was the issue of coffee, which we are looking at, the maize, and the mung beans. So it is more than if you read our manifesto, and I'm willing to share with the distinguished commissioner and the distinguished deputy minority leader our manifesto, so that you see we are still on track. And I remember, Chair, you and Senator Okongo were NADCO. One of the issues you raised was how to create opportunities, not only in business, but also in agriculture sector, Mr. Speaker. And these are the reforms that we need to really see, Mr. Speaker. I know Nyamira. No, not on housing. We are today dealing with agriculture. Let us deal with one thing at a time, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this issue of coffee, you have had more than 30 counties depend on coffee. I'm informed even in your county, places like your constituency, Chepalungu, Danai, Nyamira, we have also Bungoma, Nandi, Mr. Speaker, and many other counties, including Kirinyaga, Kiambu. Most of these counties depend on coffee. And we have coffee, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, for the statistics of the House, are you aware 12.6% of the population of this world consume daily at least a cup of coffee, Mr. Speaker? And in fact, from the statistics that we have, this is approximately 1 billion people consume coffee, Mr. Speaker. So there is a huge market that we need to harness for the coffee, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, annually 10 billion kilograms of coffee is being consumed or sold annually, Mr. Speaker. So I think it's also important that the House notes that 66% of the Americans must take coffee, Mr. Speaker. It is like in the people who take the other drink that is not juice and water, kutoa lock with the indulgence of the standing orders, Mr. Speaker. So I want to confirm, Mr. Speaker, that the pricing, the issue of coffee is very important, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank the committees who have a cleanup of the bill, Mr. Speaker. We have debated, we have passed, but I'm happy today my farmers in Nandi County will celebrate that finally their journey of receiving and getting a legal framework to assist them. And this is our work. Under Article 96, we are supposed to do oversight, legislation, representation. So legislation is our domain, Mr. Speaker. And I'm happy, for example, in Nandi, Mr. Speaker, virtually all counties, sub-counties grow coffee. For example, Tindret, we have Aldai, Masop, Chesumei, Nandi Hills, Mr. Speaker. Virtually, and even Mgwen, virtually, Mr. Speaker, virtually all of them grow coffee. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank a number of cooperative societies who are very instrumental in my county and across the country for ensuring that they support farmers. The issue of processing of coffee, Mr. Speaker, like when you go to Tindred, there is Kipsiele Cooperative Society, there is Kapsaos Cooperative Society, I think this one is in Aldai, there is Cherondo, Mr. Speaker, Cooperative Society Coffee, there is also Sarwat, Lengon, Mr. Speaker, and even Kabirer, just to name a few, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the World Bank because they supported us in building Chebonet milling, coffee milling factory, Chebonet, in Tindred sub-county, Mr. Speaker, for the support that they gave us as a county. But, Mr. Speaker, you know agriculture is devolved. And governors, these are the issues that we expected governors in Kilifi to go and discuss, Mr. Speaker. But they did not discuss these issues that we are discussing. Because this Chebonet milling coffee plant is not fully operational. Yet we were given money by World Bank, Mr. Speaker. Because the incompetence and the Sangmale administration has failed to operationalize this Chebonet coffee milling plant that should be maximized, that should ensure there is enough electricity to ensure the pulping and milling of our coffee is done in Chebonet milling coffee factory in Tindred sub-county, Nandi County, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, number 2 is on the issue of pricing. We are happy that at the moment, and I know colleagues, in fact, coffee is paying more than tea at the moment. For example, Mr. Speaker, the pricing ranges between 552 shillings to 1,150 shillings per kilo and more. And even in specialized beans, Mr. Speaker, 500 grams go up to 2,400 shillings, Mr. Speaker, depending who is. So the issue of pricing, Mr. Speaker, and I'm happy that this issue of pricing must be resolved once and for all so that there is stability and value. Mr. Speaker, we want to see the issue of foreign exchange honor. Coffee, I know we were discussing issue of, Mr. Speaker, the issue of our Kenyans who are watching abroad, Mr. Speaker, working. Mr. Speaker, are you aware that in the last few months, Kenyans who work outside, live and work, are giving this country close to 1 trillion Kenyan shillings? Mr. Speaker, and that is why when I saw Senator Wambua being passionate is that, in fact, are you aware the foreign exchange from our Kenyans outside the country are giving us the top earnings more than tea and coffee, our traditional foreign exchange. In fact, in future, Mr. Speaker, we must think even of coming with a full-fledged Ministry of Foreign Affairs, of Diaspora Affairs. We need a fully fledged, because if you are having one revenue stream giving to a country almost 1 trillion Kenya shillings, that revenue must be guided, Mr. Speaker, and I want to appeal that this should look like. Mr. Speaker, finally, on the issue of security, Mr. Speaker, I don't know whether your county is suffering from this, but Mr. Speaker, we have seen a reemergence of gangs. Mr. Speaker, last year I buried 3 people who were killed for guarding the stores where the coffee beans of farmers in Tindred sub-county, Mr. Speaker. Up to today, police have done absolutely nothing to apprehend for the people who were killed in Tindred sub-county while they were guarding our coffee beans, Mr. Speaker. You remember the famous story of Chepkube during Kenyatta One era, Mr. Speaker. These are black gold. Mr. Speaker, I was told even the other day, a lorry that was ferrying coffee beans was attacked somewhere in Timborwa, between Timborwa and Banforest, and they went away, Mr. Speaker. We are having a reemergence of coffee theft. I know I'm aware Senator Murango should be very keen with this, because the central Kenya was suffering from coffee theft, Mr. Speaker. I want to appeal. I know the Inspector General of Police had formed what we call anti-stock theft police unit, Mr. Speaker. We have formed even the one, Ngapu, for chiefs. The police must form anti-coffee theft police unit to protect our factories and stores where coffee is being stored, Mr. Speaker. I buried and another were injured, Mr. Speaker. No one has been arrested. This is a black gold. Coffee now, it is more than gold, Senator Wambua. I know Kitui also has some of these issues, but we must come out, Mr. Speaker. And I know, Mr. Speaker, you have told me in Bomet, you have started planting coffee. I want to warn you in advance that these people are unfair to farmers. They wait for farmers to suffer. You harvest, you do pulping. When you have put in the bags, gunny bags, to be taken to the market, that is when thieves strike, Mr. Speaker. And the sad, Mr. Speaker, with these thieves, they normally kill. They don't only take the beans, Mr. Speaker. So the police, the Inspector General of Police has powers, and I'll bring a motion, Mr. Speaker, that we need to form anti-coffee theft police unit specifically to deal with the issue of police that can be there. Because we have diplomatic police unit. We don't have parliament police unit. I don't know whether that one has been formed. We have a VIP protection police unit to protect us. Mr. Speaker, why should you be protected by police if you are not stolen anything from Kenyans? I saw the former governor of Makueni eating madondo, as it's known in the street slang, and chapati. And people are saying, see, this is the man who never touched anything that belongs to the people, and that is why he can work freely, and he teaches, Mr. Speaker. So this issue, finally, on the issue of coffee cherry fund, Mr. Speaker, we must be very keen to ensure that this coffee revolving cherry fund is given. We want to see Kitui, we want to see other counties being part of the counties that grow coffee. The future of farmers, the future of farming is in coffee. Mr. Speaker, the issue of tea, you know, has been a problem. But Kenyans are now refocused on the issue of coffee. And I want to say, Mr. Speaker, appeal to the Agriculture Committee, to the President, Mr. Speaker, that when we finish with coffee, we must also finish with the issue of coffee sector reforms, Mr. Speaker. I remember we were with you in Kericho trying to crack the whip on the issue of coffee. We need to also discuss the issue of mang beans. The issue of, I'm told in Ukambani, this is the season of mangoes. Mr. Speaker, they are going wasted. We need to ensure that we give value addition. Those are the issues, Mr. Speaker, that governors should be discussing. I expect that Governor Malombe to be discussing on how the issue of mangoes is being processed, value addition, so that juice from mango can be taken in this in this parliament, Mr. Speaker. I always feel bad that the juice we take in parliament's restaurant is imported from South Africa and other countries. Yet here in Ukambani, I know you can say Del Monte, but it's not sufficient enough. Yet here in Ukambani, our mangoes are rotting day and night. Mr. Speaker, they are busy concentrating on sun cartels, where, you know, Mr. Speaker, I know you are built in some part of your life, either your house or here. Most of the sand that you used to build comes from Kitui. But can you know, sand does not give value for the people of Kitui as we talk today. We need this conversation. I expect that our governors from the region where coffee is grown, including Nandi, should have discussed how we can do value addition. By the time my coffee leaves Kipsiele Coffee Factory, Cabrera Coffee Society, or even Jebonet, Mr. Speaker, it should be ready to be consumed. Why are we exporting raw to be done value addition for companies that are in America, Mr. Speaker? The name is getting away from me. There is a company that sells coffee, although we have Java here, and there is one in America. There is a name, it's getting lost, and I can see Clark, who has stayed in some part of that world, knows. Mr. Speaker, so we are trying to, Starbucks, yes, Starbucks, thank you for that information. Starbucks, Mr. Speaker, and it looks a number of my colleagues have traveled around the world, and that is why they know some of those destinations, Starbucks coffee, and they go and do value addition. You have seen even Java, they do value addition, but the value to Mukulima or the farmer in Kirinyaga is not replicated with the pricing that you are getting at the value, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I am happy. The 50th point is that I think Nairobi Stock Exchange, we need now to trade coffee, Mr. Speaker, so that we get the NSC, the issue of Nairobi Stock Exchange, Mr. Speaker. And I want to thank the President, Mr. Speaker. I have seen he has come to rescue Nairobi City County by signing a cooperation pact, Mr. Speaker, because Nairobi City County was suffering from poor development and poor service delivery. I'm happy the President has seized the moment and taken some of the functions to assist Nairobi, Mr. Speaker. You know, Nairobi City County, the reason I'm talking about is Nairobi Stock Exchange is located in this city. Nairobi City County, Mr. Speaker, 1 is the face of Kenya. 2 is the capital city. 3, it hosts most of the critical international agencies, Mr. Speaker. So we need a Nairobi City County that is functional, that is accessible, Mr. Speaker, so that we can see the value of Nairobi, Mr. Speaker. And I think in future, Mr. Speaker, you are a lawyer of long standing, and I expected you to learn for the LSK president, but I didn't see your name. I would have voted for you on Thursday when LSK elections will be done. Is that Nairobi City County, we must sit, Senator Wambua, and my chair of county public accounts, we must sit and see if we can amend the constitution, Mr. Speaker, to allow Nairobi to be run as a metropolis by the national government. Because you can see, by the time Governor Sakaja had to go and request help from President William Ruto to run Nairobi City County, it is not easy. We understand this county is cloaking with poor drainage network, poor planning, Mr. Speaker. Many issues is going wrong, corruption and many other things. Mr. Speaker, those are some of the issues, because Nairobi is a very critical point in this, and we thank the President. Mr. Speaker, the role of, I have seen another important point, colleagues, is the role of Attorney General. I want to call out the AG, Mr. Speaker, because most of the bills, you heard the majority leader say this, most of the bills that come to the Senate, they don't include the role of devolution. It took the mediation committee, Mr. Speaker, to go and amend and put the role of county governments. Yet agriculture is devolved, Mr. Speaker. I want to ask the Attorney General of the Republic of Kenya, or the people in state law office, it looks like their mentality is still stuck before devolution. They should be aware on Chapter 11 on the principles of devolution. Any bill, and I want to appeal to colleagues, any bill that comes to the Senate without a clear role of devolution, we must reject that bill pronto. That is the only way we can do, Mr. Speaker. That is the only way. Because the 4th schedule allows, and the Attorney General and the state law office must be made aware to this, Mr. Speaker. So as the coffee farmers, Mr. Speaker, you know, in conclusion, I've seen the Senator delegation of Nairobi. You know, one of the way people get married or do dating, they must go to coffee dates. So coffee farmers have been very supportive, Mr. Speaker, towards many marriages and relationships. Because when they ensure coffee is grown, you can take somebody to coffee date, Mr. Speaker. The only mistake I have with the Russian guy is he never took anybody to coffee date. I don't know, because there is no coffee in Russia, Mr. Speaker. And Mr. Speaker, I want to appeal that as a country, we need to protect our people, Mr. Speaker, from these international people, Mr. Speaker. We need women leaders to come out, Senator Beatrice Ogola, and be the leading light to ensure our girls and women are not taken advantage of, Mr. Speaker. I want to thank the CS of Gender who has ordered that the Russian man should be tracked. But I want to thank Ghana. Mr. Speaker, as we talk, Ghana has issued a red alert on the purported Russian guy and even pushing for extradition of the individual who took advantage of our women and girls, Mr. Speaker. And that is why Kenya should also do. I know Russia does not support extradition. I know you as a lawyer, you know the process of extradition is a lengthy and long process. But that Russian should not leave Kenya. He should be tried in Kenya. He should be locked in Kenya, Mr. Speaker, because that offense is offense under Sexual Offences Act, Mr. Speaker, because just using true words like, you are beautiful, can we go, I speak broken English, and that is it, Mr. Speaker, it's very unfortunate. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, I want to tell coffee farmers that this is your gift for this new year. Mr. Speaker, remember all the senators who participated in passing this coffee bill when it comes to 2027 during voting, including you for presiding over the House, especially on the issues of coffee matters. And Mr. Speaker, I know you are a generous man. When we pass this bill, invite us for our coffee dates so that we can celebrate by drinking more coffee. I yield back, Mr. Speaker, and I support.
Senator Cherargei, you can be sure that that will be available because we want to brand and market our coffee. Two is, it could not have been available for the chair to vie for the Law Society of Kenya presidency, but I invite you to elect someone who is honorable, professional, responsible, who will take Law Society of Kenya to the next level, comes Thursday next week. They have campaigned, and you know the best candidate ought to be given the opportunity to serve the society. Senator Wambua.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand here in support of the work done by the Mediation Committee on the Coffee Bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2023. And Mr. Speaker, I want to thank that committee comprising members from the Senate and the National Assembly for coming up with a version of a bill that is reasonable and that is acceptable to both houses of Parliament. The Speaker, in fulfillment of our Standing Orders 166, the committee has discharged its responsibility and done it well. Mr. Speaker, I want to single out Senator of Kirinyaga, Senator Morango, who at some point was the chair of my committee where I used to sit, the Committee of Agriculture, for passionately pushing forward the agenda of the Kenyan farmers, and especially the coffee farmers and macadamia farmers. And remind him, Mr. Speaker, that at some point 2 years ago, Senator Morango gave me 4 seedlings of coffee that I went to plant in Kitui. And I decided to do a very serious experiment. I planted the 4 seedlings and just let them fight the battle. I did not give them any special treatment. I did not spray them. I did not water them during the dry season. And the Speaker, I'm here to tell Senator Morango that 3 of those seedlings have now given fruit in a dry place called Kitui. So, Mr. Speaker, what am I saying? I am saying that we must stop to listen and believe in the lies that coffee can only survive in certain areas. With proper care, we can produce enough coffee, not just for ourselves, but for the world market, and produce very quality coffee. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I want to congratulate the coffee farmers in Kenya. That now a law has been passed, and we do expect that the President shall assent to the law, the bill to become law, that our coffee farmers will begin to reap the full benefits of their produce. I've been on record in different fora complaining, Mr. Speaker, that a lot of coffee farmers work very, very hard, but very few of them can afford instant coffee. So, Speaker, with the new regulation, with the new law, I do hope that the market shall be properly regulated and that it puts the coffee farmer at the center of the coffee business. So that even as middlemen and traders in coffee and coffee products benefit at the local level, at the regional level, at the international level, the coffee farmer will get their due benefits. Now, Speaker, I want to draw the attention of this House to a level of mistreatment meted on coffee farmers from a region in Ukambani called Matungulu in Machakos County. At some point, the Speaker, and the records will bear me out, the coffee farmers of Matungulu in Machakos County consistently produce the best quality coffee in the country. But the Speaker, when it comes to the sharing of the coffee cherry fund, those farmers, Mr. Speaker, have been overlooked. So, Speaker, I want to call upon the Agriculture Committee to take it upon themselves, Mr. Speaker, to visit those small-scale farmers who are producing top quality coffee in this country and in this region, in Matungulu, and see how best these farmers can be helped to continue to do what they know how to do best. Now, Speaker, having said that about the coffee farmers and the produce, now, Speaker, I've made reference to our own standing orders 166 on the establishment of mediation committees. And, Mr. Speaker, it shall be remembered that I have been very, very consistent on the need to push the mung beans bill to become law so that Dengu farmers can also benefit from support by both national government and county governments. The Speaker, let it go on record today that this information that was spilled out there, that the bill sought to punish dengue farmers, was very, very misleading, Mr. Speaker, and very, very unfortunate. In a country, Mr. Speaker, where those who are perpetrating that argument could just simply have made reference to the published bill and realize that there's nothing that was punitive about the mung beans farmers. The Speaker, in the wisdom of the leadership of both houses of Parliament, both the National Assembly and the Senate, a mediation committee has been put in place. That mediation committee, Mr. Speaker, has not had opportunity to meet. Our own standing orders are very clear, Mr. Speaker, and I want to read it. Mediation Committee Standing Order 166-6. If the Mediation Committee fails to agree on a version of the bill within 30 days of the appointment of the committee by the speakers of the houses under paragraph 2, or if a version proposed by the committee is rejected by either house, the bill is defeated. Mr. Speaker, I do not want to cast aspersions on my colleagues, but it's very, very unfortunate, Mr. Speaker, that now we are nearing the 30 days for the expiry of the Mediation Committee on the Mung Beans Bill to sit and consider the bill. Mr. Speaker, I want to say this. Somebody maybe thought that this Mung Beans Bill is about Kitui County or Makueni or Machakos. It is not. Mung beans are grown in not less than 37 counties in this country. And Mr. Speaker, if there are people who have a problem with supporting dengue farmers in this country, Mr. Speaker, I will let that matter rest there. But give the assurance to those people who are the real enemies of dengue farmers in this country that when God allows Senator Enoch Wambua to become the next governor of Kitui County, the first county bill, law that we are going to pass will be the Mung Beans Bill to help our farmers and to give them support from our government. I will leave the rest to the senators who grow dengue, who have dengue farming taking place in their counties, to decide what they want to do with their farmers. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, as we celebrate the achievements that this new law will accrue to the coffee farmers, Senator Cherargei has made reference to conversations that are taking place among county governors. For those county governors, Mr. Speaker, that grow coffee in their counties, we ask them to move with speed and make sure that once this bill becomes law, then they are able to do their bit in supporting their farmers to get the full benefits of this crop. The Speaker, Cherargei, has also mentioned, Senator, that coffee is the gold of the counties that grow the crop. And he has even tried to invoke your name, Mr. Speaker, in that debate in the construction industry and making reference to your involvement in constructions either here or in Bomet, Mr. Speaker. But the one thing that he has said, which is true, is that for us, Mr. Speaker, the building, the storage building that you are putting up now, Mr. Speaker, the sand that you're using is the gold that comes from Kitui County. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, the people of Kitui don't get the benefits of that gold. There is no county in this country, Mr. Speaker, that exports as much product or produce as Kitui does with the sand. Over 200 trucks of sand from Kitui every day. Mr. Speaker, even the coffee that is produced and generated from all the counties that grow coffee, even that coffee is not even half the amount of sand that comes from Kitui County. But unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, the proceeds from that sand just goes to the pockets of a well-organized cartel. Now, Speaker, with your permission, because I don't want to belabor that point, this week on Thursday, I shall be requesting you to allow me to issue a personal statement on that matter. Because under our watch, in our time, Kitui County is being turned into a desert by a cartel of greedy and selfish individuals who don't care about the future of our county. The Speaker, with those many remarks, I support the motion and urge my colleagues to give a nod to this mediated version of the coffee bill, Senate Bill number 10 of 2023. The Speaker, I support.
Thank you, Senator Kio Wambua, for your contribution. Now, Honorable Senators, I'll call upon Senator Moses Kajwang to contribute as well as to reply, because from my dashboard I've got no other request other than Senator Kamar, who've just requested. I had been notified that Senator Kajwang will reply on behalf of the mover of the motion. And so I will then ask you to step down so that Senator Kamar can make her contribution. Then I'll call you the last, so that as you submit your comments, you reply on behalf of Senator Wakoli. Senator Kamar.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I think the new gadgets are still unstable because I had pressed it and then it goes off and on. But thank you for being very considerate to allow me to add my voice to this. I thank you because I was a member of the mediation committee, and where am I? Am I heard?
Senator Kamar, you are loud enough. You
okay.
Maybe
you, Mr. Speaker.
Maybe
Senator
I'll ask
Murango
Senator Murango to either be a decent neighbor or cross us over the aisle to where he normally sits.
You did too much
so that
IT.
you can hear Senator Kamar in silence. Proceed, Senator.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to really thank the members of the mediation committee, led by the Senator Murango, who educated us a lot about the coffee sector. And when you look at the number of declining that was done by Senate, is because we became very much educated and were able to really understand a number of the things that were being discussed there. I'm saying this because some of us, though we are BSc Agriculture, did not do much in coffee. And coffee is a new crop in Uasin Gishu. I come from a county that has been feeding this nation for a very long time, getting a maximum of 20,000 shillings per acre. But in the recent times, when coffee spread to North Rift, Mr. Speaker, we were very surprised that there is a crop that can give you up to 800,000, 900,000. Murango told me 1 million plus per acre. and this is really something new to that region. But I really want to thank the coffee sector also, the new KPCU, for spreading wings and moving to Western Kenya and North Rift. As of course, I think they were in South Rift already, but there are so many things that this bill has presented. And a good number of them are bringing in the management of the crop. To those of us who are beginners, we are very delighted with the fact that the bill is going to continue to promote evidence-based coffee research so that we have research for every region of this country. Mr. Speaker, coffee can be one of the best earners of foreign exchange in the country, Kenya. We know that when the regulations were relaxed a little bit so that farmers can also process and export their coffee, people are actually amazed that they can sell even, they can export their coffee for much higher than the 1 million we are talking about when we only bulk the crop. Also, one of the areas that had been ignored for a very long time, which is being brought in by this bill, is the extension services. Extension services are extremely important because not everybody who did BSc Agriculture in any of our universities concentrated on one crop. So it was general and everybody was doing general crops. So we need a new team of extension workers that can deal with coffee, right from the disease prevention to everything coffee management, including the soils analysis so that we plant the right coffee seedlings in the right places in our farms. So it is really very, very encouraging that this bill is going to promote again a farmer-centered way of managing a crop, because this bill is focusing on how the farmers can reap the most, and it's also focusing on how farmers can be trained to do value addition. This is something that's extremely important. We have talked of value addition, we have talked of Kenya and even the whole continent of Africa suffering from selling raw material always. And coffee is one of those that used to be sold when it is in raw material. So we need to reach the value, the highest level of value addition so that we can retain the jobs here and we can retain also technology here. And if there is need for technology transfer, it's only when we are ready to to maximize on value addition. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank my colleagues who were in the committee led by Senator Murango for the decline, because it also educated the other members and made the members of the National Assembly understand why the Senate was focusing on this the way they were focusing. Again, I like the fact that this Senate is looking at the sectors that have been devolved very seriously, and since agriculture is devolved, then we don't just follow what has been rejected, but look at it and explain to them, and I saw this in the mediation, that our team was able to explain calmly and to convince the members of the National Assembly that some of the amendments they were introducing were either not necessary or were not bringing any value to the bill. So with those remarks, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you and thank the committee and support this report. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Kamar. Now, Senator Kajwang, Senator A.C. Okenyuri has also desired to speak. If you are mindful of me letting her speak, fine. I could just allow you to contribute. Okay, fine. Senator A.C. Senator Kajwang has been gracious enough to...
thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I just want to appreciate the consideration by Senator Kajwang. Just remembered something that I need to highlight. I'm one of the members who sat in this mediation committee. and to bring to the attention of members is that most of the very critical challenges we've been having with farmers in those societies is to do with administration. We have people who are generally mismanaging that management sector, and I thought this is a good thing because the proposal here is to ensure people are running the management system of coffee are guys who are qualified, who have gone to school. Because for you to be in the management board, you need to have a degree, over 5 years experience. I want to believe that this is a very good and progressive proposal because we are not just going to have people with no knowledge in that sector. These are people who specifically should be knowledgeable in the coffee sector so that even if they are going to engage in management, they know very well what they are doing and what consequences lie if they do otherwise. But generally, I wish to also thank the members of this committee for, it really took us a very long time to agree. Having sat in the mediation committee really also gives me exposure to how people think differently. Though our colleagues from the National Assembly would dispute on certain basic things, and I was just wondering why they might not read from the Senate side of things, but now being mediation, at some point we equally had to agree on whatever the report actually shows. So I thank my colleague members, and I wish that members support this because this is one way we are going to sort out the mess that we have experienced for quite some time. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Moses Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, with the authority and concurrence of the chair and with the instructions of the mover of the motion, I beg to reply. And Mr. Speaker, as I reply, allow me to make some brief comments. First of all, this House must congratulate the mover, the initial mover or the initial sponsor of this bill, and that was Senator Murango. And Mr. Speaker, it's very difficult to get a law, to get a bill converted into a law in this current bicameral setup. It now appears that you need an average of 3 years for a legislative proposal to get to the point where there is agreement on it. And Mr. Speaker, now that the mediation committee that comprised members from both houses of parliament have agreed on a version that is acceptable, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank members who have debated and who have agreed that we take the amendments that have been suggested by the National Assembly. Mr. Speaker, this is the true lawmaking, that the Senate can originate a bill or the National Assembly can originate a bill, and if there is disagreement, we don't fight in public or we don't insult each other. We sit in mediation, go clause by clause, and ensure that we are in agreement on the final outcome. And Mr. Speaker, I really look forward, and I hope that the head of state is going to assent to this bill immediately the two houses dispense with this motion. And I want to call on Senator Murango that despite whatever political convictions you might have, this is such an important bill that you might need to be present at State House to witness its assent because you have fought for the farmers, you have fought for the coffee farmers. When you are my chair in the Agriculture Committee, you spoke with passion about the fate of agriculture and the fate of farmers in this country. Mr. Speaker, we know Senator Murango has even gone to court to ensure that our economy is not flooded with cheap rice imports that would kill the farmers of Mwea, the farmers of Kano, the farmers of Ahero. So Senator Murango, this one, go to State House. This one, witness the signing. This one, demand to take the pen that has been used to sign that particular piece of legislation, because that is a parliamentary tradition that when you come up with such a good legislative proposal, you need to be there when it's being assented. The issues of politics we can set aside for purposes of this bill. Mr. Speaker, just talking to a few of the issues that were in contention, or just the broad features of this bill, because perhaps there could be Kenyans listening today who have not followed the debate on this particular coffee bill. Mr. Speaker, this bill brings back the Coffee Board of Kenya and establishes a coffee research training institute. Mr. Speaker, we must have a conversation with the CS responsible for agriculture and the Council of Governors to ensure that we have clarity on our strategic objective and our strategic direction for the agriculture sector. Mr. Speaker, at some point we established one super agency called the AFA, Agriculture, Food, Fisheries Authority. And that was established during the Mwai Kibaki days. It was hailed as a solution or as a vehicle that would take us to Vision 2030. And Vision 2030 and this Vision Singapore, Mr. Speaker, are not too far apart. But we have torn apart what we established under AFA. The first sector to devolve from AFA was fisheries. I was in this house, Mr. Speaker, when we, in 2016, sponsored the Fisheries Management and Development Act, because we felt that AFA was not providing that visibility and that special care for fish farmers in this country. Mr. Speaker, even though we've got a very elegant piece of legislation supported by regulations, we established the Kenya Fisheries Service, we established the Kenya Fish Marketing Authority, we established a Fish Research Institute, we even established a fish levy fund. Today, Mr. Speaker, that legislation has not been fully implemented, and we are still stuck on regulations. And that is why I was quite keen to see that we are not leaving too much to regulations in this particular proposal. Because when you leave too much to regulations, the regulation-making entities sometimes take too long to bring regulations to this House. And so they render the hard work of senators and members of National Assembly to be useless for lack of regulations. After fisheries, Mr. Speaker, tea devolved. Cotton devolved. Senator Beth Siengo brought a cotton industry development bill. And Mr. Speaker, what was unfortunate was after this House had painstakingly gone through the cotton industry development bill, and you know, Senator Morango has just reminded me that 30% of Kenya's soil is called black cotton soil. So it tells you that in 30% of this country, we could be growing cotton. Instead of importing cotton from Egypt to feed the industries in Athi River that take things for AGOA in the United States, it is possible for us to produce cotton. And so, Speaker, what did the Cabinet Secretary do? The Cabinet Secretary then initiated a presidential memorandum to say that it is not part of the government's strategic policy direction to establish additional state corporations. And as a result, the presidential memorandum was asking Parliament to undo whatever the cotton industry development bill was proposing. And Mr. Speaker, for those of us who hail from areas with black cotton soil, the question was, when we are divesting tea from AFA, there was no problem about state corporations. When you are divesting dairy, there was no problem about too many state corporations. When you are divesting sugar, when you are divesting other products, why is it that when you are divesting cotton, that is when there's concern that there's there's too much, there are too many state corporations being established. Mr. Speaker, I hope that we're not going to get those kind of arguments in this particular case, because the Coffee Board of Kenya, the Coffee Research Training Institute, one might consider them to be additional state corporations. But Mr. Speaker, the impact they have on the economy of our country must not be looked at from the simple lens of additional CEOs or additional drivers or additional bureaucracy. Mr. Speaker, if you look at the economic impact of coffee, and if you look at what we used to do in coffee and what we can do, it does not matter whether you set up some institute or you set up some board, because if it brings proper alignment of that sector, the benefits are going to outstrip the cost. Mr. Speaker, so this is one conversation that the national government should have with the Senate. We would be very happy to review the sessional paper on agriculture. In 2021, there was a policy statement on agriculture sector that was brought to this House. But Mr. Speaker, you know that 2021 and the administration that is in place right now, the priorities might have changed. I was quite happy when I listened to the president when he addressed Parliament not too long ago, when he talked about his new focus. And he talked about food security. He talked about making sure that we harvest water, we put up these super dams, we take advantage of large-scale agriculture. Yes, that is important, but we must also focus on the smallholders. And so I believe that this is part of the president's focus, and the CS for agriculture should make it easy by coming here, explaining the government's policy on agriculture, and we can bring the Council of Governors on board. Those are the kind of conversations we'd love to have with the governors. Mr. Speaker, as I wind down my reply, we have, I've already said that let's not leave too much to regulation. It is becoming a concern not just in Kenya, but across the Commonwealth. It is now being referred to as skeleton legislation, that members of parliament have become so lazy that they will do the skeleton, and for the flesh, they will leave it to the cabinet secretaries or to the regulators. Mr. Speaker, that can pose a problem, because a number of the regulations, we have seen regulations that have taken force without coming to parliament. But on the other hand, we have also seen cases where parliament requires regulations be brought within a certain time frame, and that is not done. And Mr. Speaker, I recall there was one piece of legislation we passed, or we debated in this House. It was part of the NADCO bills that was going to put clear timelines and provide clear consequences to regulation-making entities that do not do what they need to do in good time. Mr. Speaker, the CS in charge of cooperatives, CS Oparanya, has been walking around talking to cooperatives and trying to revive coffee cooperatives. Of course, there's still the issue of outstanding loans that some of these cooperatives hold. But Mr. Speaker, CS Oparanya, for those of us who have met him in his office and in other events, has made it clear that there was a colonial notion that coffee could only grow in certain parts of the country. There was this colonial notion that even tea could only grow in areas called the White Highlands. Mr. Speaker, Homa Bay County is a coffee producer. In the year 2023-2024, we produced 629 bags. And Mr. Speaker, 629 bags fetched our farmers close to 20 million. And if you look at the value per bag, it's almost 10 times the value you're getting from maize. Some parts of this country, due to many, many reasons, due to a colonial mindset, Mr. Speaker, some parts of this country are still stuck with what we call poverty crops. Senator Morango has just simulated to me how a coffee farmer on 1 acre can make 1 million shillings a year. We who come from the sugar belt, Senator Beatrice Ogola and I, Senator Ogola, you know that what you call a successful sugarcane farmer, for you to make 300,000 shillings per acre a year, you have to be extremely lucky. Why are some regions of this country stuck with poverty crops while the real cash crops are still left in certain small pockets of this country? Mr. Speaker, we need to democratize agriculture. And democratizing agriculture is by ensuring that where the soil agrees with a certain crop, we allow the people in that area to produce that crop. One thing I know about Kenyans, Mr. Speaker, and when I talk about Kenyans, I can talk about my parents, I can talk about my family, I can talk about my kinsmen. If today you told them that if you grow an avocado tree, at the end of the year you are going to make a super profit, they will grow it. If you tell them to rear quail, they will do it. If you tell them to do macadamia or whatever it is, they will do it. All you need to do is to prove to them that there's going to be a return on their investment and there's going to be a certain market at the end of the day. The reason why we are stuck with sugarcane, which is a poverty crop, is that at least you know that in my case, Sukari Industries is going to take your sugar. You know that there's a local miller close by who's going to take your sugar. So it's better than nothing. But a lot of our farmers, they have land, and they have land that is rich. They have land that has got what we call in Swahili rotuba. A lot of our people, a lot of the parts of this country that have been classified as poor, we are not poor because of lack of natural resources. We are poor because what is ascribed to us, what is brought to us, what is promoted in our eyes, are things that perpetuate poverty rather than things that get us out of that vicious cycle of poverty. And so, Mr. Speaker, I hope that this board, because it's supposed to have a function on regulation, development, and promotion of coffee in this country, that they are not going to restrict themselves to the colonial White Highlands, that they are not going to restrict themselves to the areas that were defined in sessional paper number 10, that they're going to look at this entire country and any corner of this country where coffee can be grown. They are going to promote the growing of coffee in those areas. Mr. Speaker, I also hope that the board will not just be focused on export, production and export. It is embarrassing, Mr. Speaker, that when we go to supermarkets and we buy coffee, the coffee in the cans and the coffee that has been packaged, sometimes you cannot tell where it originated from. When you buy a packet of Nescafe, Mr. Speaker, sometimes it is coffee that was planted in your backyard, behind your house, but it travels thousands of kilometers to be processed in a foreign country, and travels again thousands of kilometers back for it to be sold to you using global supply chains that make the price then triple, not even triple, the price doubles in the order of hundreds. Mr. Speaker, why can't we produce our own coffee? Aliko Dangote in Nigeria is proving that Africans are smart. It's just that we just have this mindset. Mr. Speaker, the one in Swahili and in quote, kasumba ya ukoloni. We have an inferiority complex. Mr. Speaker, they are able to refine their oil in Nigeria. Many years ago, it was thought that was impossible. When even here in Kenya, we had a Kenya petroleum refinery. There's a time we used to refine petroleum in this country. Mr. Speaker, today, we are producing oil in Turkana, and, well, the motion will come before this House, but we are not having conversations on refining it. We are having conversations on exporting it. I hope that this Coffee Board of Kenya and the Coffee Research Training Institute, working together within this framework that this House has approved, will not just focus on exports, will not just focus on an exchange who, true to the name, exchanges value, takes away from Africa and takes our produce to far off lands for it to come back in very exaggerated pricing. Mr. Speaker, beyond value addition at the micro level, because county governors still have a responsibility. And I'm happy that in the bill, the responsibility of county governors or county governments has been clearly defined. In fact, I'm very happy that unlike in the fisheries space, where there is confusion on who should collect which license, we didn't provide that clarity, Mr. Speaker, because the Constitution has got two words, fishing and fishery. And Mr. Speaker, the Constitution says that fishery is a national government function, but fishing is a county government function. It has created serious confusion, coupled with delays in regulation, that you'd find that a fisherman would be paying taxes to the national government and to the county government. You find someone doing a small cage fish farming thing in Lake Victoria pays taxation to both levels of government. Mr. Speaker, Senator Morango and the team that was working on this has created a matrix indicating the kind of license and the entity that shall levy it. And I'm glad that there's that clarity, what the county governments shall levy, what the national government shall levy, and what the capital markets shall levy. Mr. Speaker, we must tie this to warehouse receipts. Senator Fonandi has talked about violent robbery, within that space. If our warehouse receipting system was working effectively, it would provide good, proper storage for the finished product so that farmers do not have to be under stress to, investing in a high level of security to ensure that they're not stolen. Mr. Speaker, let me finalize by, again, congratulating the team that was in mediation, congratulating the primary sponsor of this bill, that finally there is hope that Kenya will come back to the League of Coffee Producers. We have gone places in the 11th Parliament with the then Senator for Meru, Senator Kiraitu Murungi. We went to Costa Rica to see how they do their coffee. And Mr. Speaker, the interesting thing is that the Costa Ricans, they told us they learned their coffee production from Kenya. And here we were, going to Costa Rica to see how they do coffee, to see how they do bananas, and to see how they do sugarcane. This country, Kenyans should not settle for less. We have the best brains, we have the best ideas, and God blessed us with wonderful soil, wonderful geography. And that is why our coffee is among the best in the world. Mr. Speaker, with those many remarks, I beg to reply, but I also request, pursuant to Standing Order number 66.3, to defer the putting of the question to a later date. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Senator Moses Kajwang, when Chair Morango was the chair agriculture, I remember there's a time he mentioned to me, he whispered that he was on his way to Costa Rica. That was Colombia. And when did Moses Kajwang, Senator Moses Kajwang and my senior Kirei Tungo to Costa Rica? I think both the countries have a lot of, did a lot of learning from Kenya. But we are still lagging behind. So we go back to your request has been approved to put the question during the next sitting. So clerk, we go to order number, back to order number 10.
Order number 10, the Kenya National Council for Population and Development Bill, National Assembly Bills number 72 of 2023, second reading, resumption of debate, mover to reply.
Okay, if my eyes are serving me well, I think I can see the majority leader is not here to reply, so I still defer that business. We go to order number 13.
Order number 13, motion, consideration of the report of the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a petition to the Senate by employees of the former Kenya Cooperative Creameries Limited, KCC, concerning non-payment of outstanding terminal benefits and Maziwa Sacco dues to former employees of Kenya Cooperative Creameries Limited.
This motion is to be moved by the Chair, Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare. I can see it's not in the House. And honorable senators, when I look at this on the paper, even going to order number 14, 15, 16, 17, the mover is here, but chairing the session, 18, 19 and 20. The owners of all these bills and motions are not in the House. And therefore, I defer this business until the next sitting. Therefore, senators, we can rise. Yes, Senator Murango, you want to say something?
Mr. Speaker, najua chenye nataka kuuliza iko katika ratiba ya leo, lakini nitauliza tu ili uweze kunielekeza. Mr. Speaker, nimeona juzi nimeletewa ombi kutoka kwa wanaotumia maji katika eneo la Kirinyaga, wakulima tofauti na pia watu wanaotumia maji manyumbani, kwamba kutokana na zile kanuni ambazo zilipitishwa kutoka kamati inayohusika na kanuni, that delegated legislation katika jumba la Seneti, taasisi ya Walma imeongeza bei ya maji Kenya nzima. Maji ambayo ilikuwa inalipwa lita 1000 sumni, sasa inalipwa shilingi 2 na sumni, na imewambidi wameelekezwa lazima waweke mita, zile vipimo vya kupima maji upya. Na mbeleni walikuwa nalipa 7500, saa hii ni kutoka kuanzia 180,000 hadi nusu milioni, ambayo wakulima hawezi kumudu. Mr. Speaker, kupatia ngamia na mbuzi maji saa hii unafaa uanze kulipia. Kwa hivyo, Mr. Speaker,
swali ambalo nilikuwa nataka kuuliza, ili utanielekeza siku ingine ama leo. Inawezekana kwamba hizi kanuni zinapokuja katika bunge la Seneti, kamati inayohusika hata kama imekubaliana na kila kitu, waweze kuleta ripoti, baadhi yetu ambao tuko na wakulima na watu kama hao tuweze kusikiza na kuchangia, kwa sababu hiyo nafasi hatuna. Asante Mr. Speaker.
Bwana Seneta Murango, ni vyema ripoti hizo zinaletwa katika nyumba la Seneti. Lakini hii kamati ya delegated legislation huwa nimeona kwa miaka mingi, wakati wanakubaliana na hoja yote wanapitisha bila kurudi kwa nyumba. Wakikataa wanakatalia katika kikao chao na waleti katika bunge. Na mimi naona ni vizuri vile umesema tubandilishe kanuni za Seneti na hasa za bunge lote, sababu vivyo hivyo ndivyo hufanyika katika ile bunge geni la taifa. Ndio ripoti yoyote kama ni kukubaliana na mwenye kuzileta zile kanuni ama kukataa, naona ziwe zinafika katika hii nyumba, ndio tuweze pia kuhusika nazo. Na pia wao wanaenda kwa wananchi, ile tunaita kuhusisha wananchi, public participation. Kama wanapitisha ama wapitishi, hiyo inapita katika public participation, sababu nguvu ya kukataa ama kupitisha sheria wamepewa nguvu mingi sana, bila kuhusisha nyumba ama bila kuhusisha wananchi. Kwa hivyo mimi naona naelekeza kwamba baadaye tutaweza kubandilisha kanuni za Seneti, ndio tuweze kupata hizo ripoti moja kwa moja. Senator Chalige, but I was giving a communication, a very good communication, very accurate.
Just Speaker.
So why are we opening this discussion again? You can see the sergeant at arms are upstanding because I did some communication already. Even the mics are already tired.
No, they are not. I thought they are new, Mr. Speaker. They are new but inefficient, Mr. Speaker.
For the day, because I pronounced
yes,
that there is
Mr.
no
Speaker.
business.
The sergeant at arms need to relax. They should be at ease until you stand. Mr. Speaker, I agree with your communication, but I just wanted to be specific with those regulations that are in operation in terms of increment of water tariffs. I know you have said under the Instruments Act, everything or all regulations must come to Parliament. Mr. Speaker, you have to appreciate some of the policymakers, including Cabinet Minister, think that Parliament is National Assembly, which is contrary to Article 93, that Parliament is National Assembly and the Senate. Mr. Speaker, maybe just so that I agree with your direction, but in addition, these three regulations, like Water Services Regulation 2025, Legal Notice number 54, Water Harvesting and Storage Regulation 2025, Legal Notice number 57, Water Resources Regulation 2021, Legal Notice number 58. Speaker, if as you give direction, if they can bring this specifically, it would be very important because you know, Speaker, water is life. And if the increment of water goes up, Mr. Speaker, you see, even you saw in Uasin Gishu County government the other day, they increased water by 100% because of this regulation. So if you are paying 200 shillings, you ended up paying 2,000. And you saw the protest when there was in Gishu County government through Eldoret Water and Sanitation Company, increase water, Mr. Speaker. Water is one of the commodities that should be free, clean, and available to each and every Kenyan, Mr. Speaker. So the only thing in this country looks like that the price cannot go up is only salt, because everything is going up. But on this, Mr. Speaker, I thank you for your guidance and your experience that the chair of delegated legislation, Senator Gataya, should be directed to come with the, I know Senator Kajwang understands this, and of course Murango, that if these regulations are enforced, the committee, Mr. Speaker, through your guidance, has power to declare it null and void and unenforceable within the Republic of Kenya, Mr. Speaker. So, Mr. Speaker, I thank you for your Solomonic direction. We stand guided, but kindly, on behalf of Kenyans, on behalf of the great people of Meru, the Njurin Jeke who gave you mate and everything, please stand with Kenyans. I yield back, Mr. Speaker.
last but not the last, Senator Moses Kajwang.
Mr. Speaker, you have made a very, very profound communication on this particular matter of statutory instruments. Mr. Speaker, I've always told my friend Senator Gataya that he chairs perhaps the most powerful committee in this House, the most powerful committee, because it's his committee that is supposed to go through statutory instruments. And for avoidance of doubt, Mr. Speaker, statutory instrument means any rule, order, regulation, direction, form, tariff of costs or fees, letters patent, commission, warrant, proclamation, bylaw, resolution, guideline, or other statutory instrument issued, made, or established in the execution of a power conferred by or under an act of parliament, under which that statutory instrument or subsidiary legislation is expressly authorized to be issued. Mr. Speaker, subsidiary legislation is now becoming more than primary legislation. And what I called earlier, the laziness of legislatures across the Commonwealth. And Mr. Speaker, I know when you go for meetings of the Commonwealth and the IPU, you will hear of this trend of legislators doing skeleton legislation and leaving subsidiary legislation to ministers and to people who head regulatory bodies. Mr. Speaker, I just want to request that as you have advised, that we could amend Section 15 of the Delegated Legislation Act, because, Mr. Speaker, Section 15, and we must not impute any improper motive on the chair of that committee. The Act does not oblige him to bring a report back to the House, Mr. Speaker, as you have rightly stated. And that is in Section 15. So you could advise that we relook at Section 15. The second thing that we have not resolved, Mr. Speaker, is when the two houses disagree on a regulation. Mr. Speaker, when the two houses disagree on a regulation, and we have had this, the regulations on this other fund, what do we call this other fund for marginalization? The regulations and the marginalization fund, Mr. Speaker. We had a case
similar to equalization fund.
Sorry, equalization fund. I'm sorry, Mr. Speaker. There was a situation where the two houses were having different views on it. We have had cases where the National Assembly takes view X on a regulation, Senate takes view Y. We have no proper mechanisms for mediation. That is something that we could also deal with. And finally, where a regulation-making authority delays in bringing regulations to this House, what do we do to them? So, Mr. Speaker, this is profound, and the fact that we have established that almost every other regulation needs to come to Parliament, which means the Senate and National Assembly, makes this House a powerful House, and we must support our brothers and sisters in that committee with the necessary amendments. Because, Mr. Speaker, you wake up and you hear that the tariffs on the expressway have just changed overnight. You wake up, you hear that tariffs on water have just changed overnight. No taxation without representation. That was the basic principle upon which certain civilizations were established. So, Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to congratulate your direction and maybe to challenge the committee to look at these additional points on subsidiary legislation.
I think, Senators, that was a very good, what Senator Murango requested to be advised is a good one. And you know the state departments, our parastatals, are sneaking their legislations, their regulations through the delegated legislation committee. Like now they are sitting on a very, very dangerous policy or regulations, Senator Morango, on tea levies. They are adding more levies on tea. And the committee insists on that matter. There is no public participation. There is nothing is happening. If the committee agrees with them, then tomorrow farmers will be levying that levy. So I think we must open this matter and also to make sure that the delegated legislation is helped to make the right decisions, and involving this House and also involving members of the public in accepting the policies and the regulations coming from the executive. So, honorable senators, let us rise. Honorable senators, there being no other business on the order paper, the Senate stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 18th February 2026 at 9:30 a.m.